2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. I can flip a dollar to $1 million. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. 3, 2, 1. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. It's a new day, days been new. Been a decade since I made it out of rent too. We some owners, baby, we don't got no rent due. Might trick, but my wife feel like the trick too. Merry Christmas.
Juice.
Did you see juice, Kuda?
I didn't. He's like,
All right.
It's fine. We're creatives. We're amazing.
of course we are amazing.
5'8", I got money on my mind. Live life great, but I'm always on the grind.
Welcome to Something's Gotta Change, the Media Change Agents podcast. We call it the Media Change Agents podcast because it's a video.
Wow.
We are Ayanda Elton Poe and Lisam from Media Change Agents, a non-profit organization that functions mainly online. We'll take babies. Okay.
Millennials and stuff.
We'll take babies. We can reach more people online than we would physically. So we operate online. But we do quite a lot. We do job sharing, funding information, sharing information around like templates and everything that makes you better at your job. That's what we're here to do. And we're here to ensure that creatives are fine and safe and creatives. That's why in today's topic, we're actually talking about one of those rights. But before I get there, I'm Ayanda. I am the founder and chairperson of Media Change Agents. I am a content producer, and I'm actually moving into not a bigger space. Content production is a big space, but like more responsibility, more outside of the actual shooting with cost.
Okay,
Like more in the
commissioning a
business end of things, because in Katele, production company angabadali. Thank you for tuning in. This is our first podcast ever. We've been talking about having this platform.
No, the wrong moment.
We've been talking about this for a long time. We actually have existed since like 2015 and have been helping crew like behind the scenes for a long time. So I think there are more people that need to benefit from the knowledge that we share and just all kinds of information that we have. So now we're bringing it to YouTube so that it can spread further. And we've got our social media pages too, where everybody can access us.
Yes.
So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and we've got a backup buddy link. I'll plug those a bit later. Right now, hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Guys.
Yeah.
Okay, keep it moving.
Unjani guys.
Hi, you're gonna start with me, Vela. Hi, I'm good. No, man. My name is the song. What do I say now? Is this the part where we introduce ourselves? Man?
Yes.
Oh my! Where do I start? At the beginning or the?
Oh my
Wait,
God.
wait, please.
Start where the soul
My life story.
leads you.
Well,
life
then
story.
we're gonna be here for a while.
From when you were 4 or 5?
4 or 5. Are you reading my tweets?
Well,
From birth.
I mean, I gotta know the people that I'm hosting with.
No,
so
I
had to
tweeted
stop you.
yesterday. Guys, actually, at the age of 4, this is what I first did. At the age of 5, this is what I first did. So we'll start there.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of where did that thing start?
I can remind
It started off at my first time with the microphone, right? My first time emceeing. Here's a life story. I remember giving a speech for the first time. I think this was 1995 when I was leaving. This is so crazy. My first advert in the world, when I was finally on television for the first time, it was 1994, 1993. Where I just got some ad. They came to our creche. I remember I used to go to a creche called Little Lisset in Pretoria and Roslyn. And they came to our creche and they said, "Who wants to be in the commercial?"
I'm guessing you were the first.
I was the first to put up my hand because like, I don't know what that means. but Let's go. Then they took like 5 of us and they took us like around the corner from where the creche was. was this person that was selling like mizwingi and stuff.
That sounds so creepy.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
It just gets creepier, right? Because I'm just like, okay,
in
who comes to a crèche and asks kids for consent
How goes
without the parent or guardian?
In retrospect, I don't know, but back in those days, things were different, man.
Very different,
We live
yes.
in a very dangerous society right now, but back in those days, I mean, even the principal, I even remember her name, Mrs. Irwin. At the time, she was like, okay, cool, take these kids and go shoot your ad.
Yeah.
And he went to the place, like, there was like a Neverland play park. Wow. And now
It gets worse. It gets worse.
No, I'm joking. We would have shot a beautiful ad or whatever. The crazy part was now I have to see myself on television. Back in those days, there wasn't multi-choice. To have Mnet in your house, you had to have an Mnet decoder. All I know, this is like in 1994, 1995. All I know is that they said at 6 a.m. on Saturday, this advert's going to be playing on television. What do I tell my mom? At 6 a.m., we have to be watching Mnet. Only open time at my house. There's
Ka 7 p.m. We all know that one.
We went to the neighbors early in the morning and we watched me on television for the first time.
Oh, look at
I was
you.
gonna swing my first commercial. This was 1995. 1996, what happened? Elton, you know this tweet, man. And I tweeted that tweet. So 1996, I think I won my first modeling contest. I was Mr. Loreto Convent School, which is the primary school that I went to. 97.
Okay, no, bro.
98, 99, 98. I was in my first play. I was number one in a call sheet in 1998, by the way. I was the main character. Yes, 100%. The show was about me. It was called The Talkbird. But anyway, fast forward to the rest of my life and my relationship with entertainment. Wow, man, I've got a hectic story. It's toxic, it's non-toxic as well. But all it describes is the fact that not aviation, that's coming later. But what it describes is that entertainment is like a bug. Right. Remember that KFC, what again, chicken licks, where that little monster kept growing and growing and growing. And the more you don't feed this monster called entertainment, the more you're not in front of a camera or in front of a microphone or expressing your art, is the more the monster grows and weighs down heavy on you. I've been through all the faculties of life that I found interested in, like aviation. I've been there. I've studied medicine at Wits. I've done radio and I've done whatever. But look at how, like, in between, like, aviation, whatever, I get called to radio. Then I was at YFM, Y Academy. And I go back to aviation, then I get called into this field. Then I'm a drone pilot. Yes, I'm a pilot, but then I become a drone pilot as well. So throughout my life, like, there's been all these moments. And as you get older and reach about the age of 35, you start realizing that somehow in life, like every single journey that you take, like it leads up to one point, right? Everybody's got like one purpose at the end of the road, but entertainment is that one that's like the barbed wire in between because it keeps calling you back. But I've got that toxic relationship with many other industries as well. With aviation, I can say the same thing. When I decided that, okay, cool, I'm going to stand up on stages again since 1995, was my first time saying an opening speech ever in my life. Now I'm emceeing again professionally. But now I MC professionally and I think, oh, well, this is full circle. I guess my first time on a microphone and speaking on a microphone because I've got a very good voice, you know? And my first time speaking on a microphone, I was fine, but you don't realize till you reach like these middle 30s when you start realizing, oh, wait a second, if I have to plot my life's path, it means all of these things were there for a reason. All of these little journeys along the way were there for a reason. So I'm one of those people that follow my heart the whole time because I believe that my heart will always lead me to my true purpose.
I thought I talked a lot until I met this guy. Jesus.
Oh.
I don't know if it's a gift or a curse. We'll find out.
Yes.
Just to contextualize, when Lesang says he was number one on the call sheet at that age, Go TV, and especially they use it in drama.
It's the ring.
Yeah. Mo number one.
Yes.
We
You are
steering.
the one, or we steering.
So, like, the lead.
The lead. Mo
Actually,
number
who was
two.
number one on our call
seven.
sheet for this?
It was her.
Amy.
Oh.
Everyone also Jim Yellow. Yeah, so number one, maybe steering show at the tender age
1998.
of...
I remember it was a 40-page
4 years
script.
after freedom.
And I knew the whole
In
thing.
1998.
Yeah, I was 8 years old.
I was 1.
Okay, now that we've wrapped up the Lisang show, I'm going to
back.
keep it short and sweet. And I'm older than you. I should have a lot more to say, but okay, the time is gone.
To each their own.
My name is Mpoma Ringa and I'm a storyteller. I will say that because I'm a storyteller by birth, but I'm a storyteller by profession too. So what I love and what I'm gifted at should pay me. It is my job. It is what I do for a living. It is also what I do for fun. I'm one of the few lucky people that actually get to enjoy what they do and do what they love for money. Because I love it, it's still for money. Because I enjoy it and it's a passion, it's still for money.
Yeah.
But get a hobby and let it pay you or something
Yes.
like that.
Yes. Even I don't want to call this a hobby, it's deeper. It's like a calling. Like
It's a lifestyle.
if I don't do it, I get sick. Oh,
Uneasy.
yeah. Yeah, like if I have to be too logical and there's no creativity, I mean, I would put creativity on a spreadsheet just to keep going. So
Creativity on a spreadsheet, I love it.
that's me. And I think I'm like a quarter of your time. Hello, baby.
No, this podcast's gonna go.
Hello, big sis. Okay, so I'm Alton, and we originated from Guyana, so that's my big sis. But I've always been a very entertaining person. Like, I love talking. And actually, my mom was a dancer when she was young, and then my dad was a musician. So talent is
nice.
in the family. So it was kind of expected that, okay, Alton might do something like this. So growing up, I used to be in different plays at schools. I wanted to write, I wanted to direct. And like my favorite subject was actually English, surprisingly, because I just enjoyed reading and writing and the literature part of it. And then, I was good at math. So I decided, let me do actuarial science. And then I did it, and then I passed. I started working, but then, like Lisang mentioned, it's like that little bug that always comes to you. So eventually, I was like, okay, I need to give in, even if it's not full time. I need to give in and do what I love. And I decided I'm gonna come back and do what I love. And you know what? The higher powers decided to cook up some chemical engineering, and here I am. Literally.
Showing me. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
To the higher powers.
Amen.
Yes.
To alchemy.
And then
Tokoza in it.
we have a moment that we call crew plugging, because we celebrate our BTS crew, right? Everybody that's behind the camera that makes this come alive, because all our favorite TV shows, in fact, we usually are crew. It's just that we're sitting here in front of the camera speaking on behalf of crew. But all our favorite TV shows are put together by someone, whether it's the production assistant, whether it's the executive producer, whether it's the content person, whether it's like the medical staff.
Medics.
On-set medics. Whether it's the on-set medics.
Security.
Security, everyone. So we feel like everybody should care about the people who put their stuff together, because a show doesn't just come as it is. It comes from a whole production and a whole lot of people who are stressed behind the scenes to make sure that it is perfect in whatever way. So I'm going to start that way and go this way. Lolly, the voice that I'm ad-libs. Anytime you hear, a comment,
Hi,
Nyana,
ni right,
Lolly.
ni happy, ni
It's
bad.
our content Miguel. Yes. We have Untowozo, our production baby, who's doing everything. She's production, this production, that production. Hey, yes,
Editor.
and she's gonna edit the show. So hello. Yes. Then we have Kuda,
Kuda Cash.
director extraordinaire. Kuda Cash, no
No
dash.
dash. Underscore. I put it in there.
No underscore. I have so many numbers, Gakuda. I actually don't know what the original I saved it as. Maybe the original had underscore. Now I'm on number 10. It's got exclamation marks now. It's got Kuda again.
Again.
With exclamation marks. So this is Kuda. We do a lot of projects together, especially projects like this where the crew comes together and we put together our own production. No
Passion
funding,
project.
no support from anyone. We do it for creatives, by creatives. Kuda is always, like, I've got a picture on my Instagram. We look like we were young. We were already old. Sibatala. Sibatala, guys. But I've got a picture on my Instagram. We look so crusty. No, Kuda. Oh my God. But yes, that's Kuda Cash, no dash.
Hey, give us a crash zoom there to say hi.
Where is it?
There we go. Hey, Kuda.
We've got Ipi Lang. She is usually on like professional sets. Ipi Lang, when's a movie, girl.
Gang, gang.
Namhlanje, she's gracing us with her presence. Go podcast.
Usiphi isikhathi sakhe.
We're so blessed.
Doing
We're
charity
blessed
work.
to have
That's charity work.
Pro bono, guys.
She's doing
Ubusy
this
pro bono.
Thank you, Ipileful. Yes, we've got KB. Namhlanje yazi uKB usivakashela on set. Usually abantu I'm a developer. They sit in the corner of the building, not even the
He's
office.
developing a response to this.
KB, please don't respond.
Yes,
You're my podcast. I'm now. You're my the whole day. UKB is running the Media Change Agent site. He's doing the domain and the subdomain. So we've got www.mediachangeagents.org, and then we've got shop.mediachangeagents.org, because on our shop site we've got a marketplace that we were selling Media Change
It's the merch.
t-shirts. If crew has equipment that they'd like to put on the site to have hired out, they can put it on there. If crew has buses or panel vans or any of that stuff that needs to be hired, because we are a community on our own, they've already got a customer base. So anything that goes on that site, it's got an audience already, and KB manages that audience and the poppy behind it. Phela ngasikhathi sivula isite senze database, ayekho umuntu bekangitshela ngepoppy njengathi une permission.
Speaking of Poppy, was it
Yeah,
like from this effective date, or was it like don't ever do that again?
No. It was before we launched. We do our things.
Okay, then fine.
So
Then I'm happy with Poppy.
No. From our the form that we have for people to join,
It's
the
a
membership
permission,
form.
yeah.
It says, do you give permission? Like we've got a whole.
It's a release form
ad.
basically for
We've
your.
got a-
Tell them
I
about
read
it.
terms and conditions. I read every single one of them.
You can't read terms and conditions.
Even the fine print.
Okay.
I read fine print on everything
Oh my God.
in case.
It's not.
I need to give you all my forms.
It's not a long document. I know it's not. So it's there, and KB created it. Thanks. We've got Thomas, Mr. Juice. Behind that camera.
It's juice. It's juice.
Mr. Juicy, famous guys. Bebele ngabe uhleli la, and uyambona nanoma akhuluma nani, like ukhuluma nje ngoba uyambona ukuthi actor lo perform. Ujuice makatshela ukuthi abe late. Uthi indaba bengi.
Uyabona sister.
Angijike la baya. Ngifika la baya.
You should see his face right now.
Mr. Juicy, uyaperform so. Masithola a fifth mic. Mr. Juice is sitting here with us.
A natural performer.
Please find our banking details below.
Then we've got Abel representing Ausweg Productions, because they are one of our equipment sponsors,
Ausweg.
along with Mampejo Pasha Studios.
Ausweg.
They sponsors of the show, equipment-wise. But yeah, so we are young people coming together, bringing this to... Some of us are young people, bringing this to you guys.
I'm just like it's legal. Your youth ends at 35.
Yeah, it's your last
I
year.
can't even join ANC Youth League if maybe I wanted to.
Oh, maybe you'll join my daughter and say,
So now I have to go. Maybe it's actually a good thing. I want to go fight for this country. Vote for me, guys.
So
Vote for me.
So if today is the 26th and we are launching this episode on the 26th,
Yeah.
my birthday was yesterday and we were
Happy
turning
birthday
35.
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy Happy birthday to you.
I think I changed 7 keys in one line. We didn't have to audition. We didn't have to sing to be here. Some of us didn't be here.
And this is my favorite part. This is my favorite part of a podcast, when everyone's talking at the same time because we're about to decide. And this is where we're going from here.
Where we are going is my
Yes.
tweet, actually.
Sure.
Yeah.
which tweet is it?
So, guys, I got in trouble for a tweet.
Which one is this
Yeah,
one?
your Twitter, but
So,
your Twitter is spicy.
which one is this one?
I've changed.
That's my boy
So,
Elon.
I got okay, let me read the message first, right? Because I did delete the tweet. I deleted the tweet under duress because I got a WhatsApp message from Phindi Grootboom.
Wow,
We're dropping names.
This has escalated.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I say Kaya FM.
Did you delete them? Because I actually took a screenshot.
So I
have-
discovered
I have
yesterday
them.
that a few people have taken screenshots because
Yes.
people keep checking on me, and I'll explain now why. But the message said, "Hi Ayanda, I'm ready to pay your full balance now, but can you delete the tweets before I do? Let me know once done, so I send you a POP. Thanks."
It's the thread for me.
The tweet in question.
That.
Yeah, why is my salary going to be paid to me on condition that I untweet? Like, did I not work? But okay, I deleted. And then later on at night, so I tweeted, and then someone, reminded Uguti, Sisi, Kanti, what happened here? Why am I struggling to find this
Did
tweet?
she pay though?
Have you been hacked?
No, so I deleted the tweets and then I said to her, yeah, I've deleted.
And she paid
Yeah.
the full amount.
The rest of the amount.
I'm trying to find the tweets on my side as well because siyakhuluma.
Please
Like,
find
kuningi.
it. So basically,
I airdrop it to you?
just the
I definitely
please.
took screenshots.
I know the tweet.
Because
Should I airdrop it to
we've been hinting. So I was complaining about a non-payment, right? I worked on a show called Togoza.
Ngitholile.
Thank you. Ngicela unikeze iphone ulisa ngephone. So I worked on a show called
Cause angiveli
Togoza
mina.
Mntwana. The mandate was ukuthi guys, Ayanda, please, as the content producer, ngicela ustrendise ene mina yazi content yami ngiyayishaya ene were they not trending.
I like that part.
This one, actually, I met him because he's one of the people who became a fan of the show and he kept like wanting to be part of the show and I was like, wait, and Chomino Sajoli Stras,
Yeah, I didn't have a proper partner at that time.
Really? What time frame was this? Who were you dating this time frame?
Who are you
I don't
dating?
know, like.
Oh, you forget your exes, nah?
It's, you know, like baningi.
So
So
it
says
wasn't that deep.
This post has
Yeah.
been deleted, right? So Christmas is around the corner and Mo and Phindi haven't communicated since the message in EP 4, Uguti, what the plan for my salary is for the content production work I did on Thokoza Muntwam. I had a mommy shower, gave birth, spent December without my money, and now Christmas. So guys, do you understand, Uguti, this production technically ended in September.
Yes.
October, November, December, I didn't have my money. So we, in production, when you've got crew group, edit group, this group. They actually asked to be in the crew group, asked to be admin, and then removed the admin of the group from being admin, and then they closed down the group. They removed everyone from the group. Must delete us all. Unpaid.
So
All the people unpaid. They said hi. Ooh, basically, just to
Because also
paraphrase.
you guys don't know each other, you don't see each other's numbers. So if I delete all of you guys from the group,
You all don't
you guys
exist.
can't actually contact.
oh,
each
you
other.
can't see the numbers.
Yeah, because Yaya doesn't know Tabo was there.
Oh my God.
No, that's the
It's
assumption.
just to slow down.
that's
It's to
the
slow them down.
It's just in colluding. Because in the group, anytime they would be like, okay, we know we said we're gonna pay at the end of September, but we have to delay by another month. We know we said we're gonna pay in October, but we have to delay by another month. The people would react
And that time,
in
how
the
your
group.
bills delay.
Hey, Chomi, I like I'm saying, Uguti, I produced, I content produced that show at the height of my pregnancy. So in my third trimester, all of this was happening. Ne?
Yeah.
In my third trimester, I was on set. By the way, let me track back. Ne? All of this could have been avoided. Because Mina, when I do my content, because I am trying to make sure that we finish on time and we finish with everything. Ne? I don't just sit in my content role. I give advice where I see, okay, now we're going to have problems. Ne? So early when we were shooting, we struggled with couples because there's the one couple that then was difficult and then they quit the show and then we moved on and we were sourcing other couples. But because of timelines, then we still had to shoot the show. So it's an ensemble type of cast. It's 3 couples at the same time. So I was able to shoot the stories of the other couples, right? So by the time we were 2 weeks in, I actually handed in 21 scenes that the editors could start cutting. And this was still in July. right? I've got receipts. I'm deleting. My message was 2014. So I handed in 21 scenes that could start being cut. This was in July. We continue shooting. The post-production company doesn't say that they actually didn't start. I handed those scenes in with the edit scripts. So I created the beats. Well, okay, this is what we shot. This is what we're looking for in so you can work. They didn't start editing. They didn't say they didn't start editing. But I'm in content. It's not my job to follow up on that, right? So we continue shooting. We source couples. I struggle.
Why don't you call me? Is it because I'm not a couple?
It's because I was Zangoma.
No, and also Lisa has a new crush every week. But I was there.
Without a boyfriend.
Well, to be fair.
All the minimum requirements. All the minimum requirements.
But
That must be our next episode. These
no, you see, the thing is, she made a mistake. I would have given her all the entertainment she needed. Okay?
Okay. With what boyfriend?
No, we were gonna source a boy. Boys are not a problem. Boys are not a problem. Even Lisang, we could have hired Lisang.
Hired? It sounds like I'm soliciting something.
So then, that was just that, right? So we discovered actually, so this was July, we discovered towards the end of August or something that the editing hadn't actually started. And the edit guys were like, it's the scripts, we're missing the scripts. So Mina, receipt yana grande with the screenshots. Receipts. I sent emails, I sent WhatsApps, I sent this, I sent a call log. Here are the scenes. Here, start editing. They're like, okay, no. To be quite honest, we didn't start because we didn't receive payment from the production company.
Wait, hold on, I'm sorry. Is this the post-production?
There's a post-production.
So the post-production company is saying,
separate
actually, yes, separate.
So the production didn't go out and go hire editors.
They outsourced
yes,
production.
they outsourced the production, yes.
At a facility.
Yes.
So
And
facility didn't receive payment.
So
to
facility, yes, didn't receive payment, they say.
Okay.
And then they say, okay, cool. So because we didn't receive this payment, we didn't start cutting those 21 scenes. And by that time, by August, the 21 scenes were in July. So by August, dog, so we have passed the place where we're at the beginning of this.
It's called the point of no return.
We were at the point of so that already was telling to me Uguti Post is going to make this production run over, right? And by run over, I mean run over budget. And I was already saying, Uguti, if Post hasn't started, we're in a bind because it means, Uguti, I'm going to be on this production longer than I want to be because my contract says end of September. And now we're going to go into October.
Because Post hasn't started.
I was sitting there, because I've created the edit scripts. I sit there and I cut my scenes and I'm like, keep a lepat. I'm very much in there. Deep within, right? So I knew I was going to have to be sitting in Post in October at the height of my pregnancy. Guys, when I was sitting in Post, those guys would be like, do you want to lift there's a room to nap. I would nap. Come back. They'd be like, there's a place to lift your legs. Lift my legs. They'd be like, no, don't make coffee. No coffee for the baby. Like, I was at the height of my pregnancy and they were focusing on the fact that I'm working. I shouldn't be here, but I'm here, right? And they were taking care of me because they were like, okay, something's got to give, right? So Post was delaying. The other couple joined late, so that was going to delay. I sent a long email saying, you've brought this couple that you know is difficult. This couple is going to stress us, going to drain us of budget, and they're going to be undirectable, which means a scene that should take an hour to shoot.
This show is on television as we speak.
Yes.
Well, no, it just finished now in December, but it's on catch up.
Okay, so just finished in December. Okay.
This couple
now,
is going to drain us of budget.
Now that you have the
And it
inside
turned out
info.
good.
It was great. I have to attest. It was a good show. I have to give
It's
her
a
credit
good
for that.
show, guys. Despite
I believe you. I mean, you never miss.
I know. Oh, Chubby, exactly.
No, I'm not saying it isn't a friend.
Yes, but yes, no, I never miss. But like, I said with this couple, so a scene that is supposed to shoot for like 30 minutes or an hour, we're going to shoot long. And that means, Uguti, we're going to have to cut the scenes that are at the end of the day they're going to have to run over. When a scene runs over, they're going to stack up and cause more days. So if you drop a scene, you have to put it on another day, but that day already has 4 scenes. So that day now must have 5 scenes. And in reality, nobody wants to work overtime. So they're not going to do that. It just extends the days. You extend the days, you are extending expenditure. Why was I the one worried about that? We were in Mpumalanga. Dog,
it's not my job to care about
it's not my
your
job
budget,
to care about the budget. But I was in Mpumalanga with the crew and we were shooting this couple. And the director kept going, no, let's drop a scene. Let's drop a scene. Let's drop a scene. I actually called the execs. I was like, hi, guys. Firstly, we're having this fight about dropping scenes right there in front of cast, which is very annoying.
Unprofessional.
Very, very annoying. And people are talking in the scene, and this director's like, yeah, can you see? They're talking too long. And I'm like, hey, concentrate. And he's like, no, we're going to go over time. We're going to go over. I'm like, dog, can you chill? I'm trying to get this content. And it's not my fault. You spent the morning shooting sunrises and sunsets for like 6 hours.
Hey, it takes a while to shoot a sunrise.
It's fine, but consider the fact that the
Really
actual content, like we're going to see that for 3 seconds in the show, the actual content is going exactly.
Yeah.
So those scenes overran. Those scenes, then I call the execs and I'm like, hi, Phindi, Mugel. I am content. I cannot be the one having a conversation with the directors about the fact that they're constantly dropping scenes. I cannot be the one speaking and focusing on the fact that this is going to go run over time on the schedule.
So what I'm getting
and
from
over
this,
budget.
What I'm getting from this is that apart from you doing your job as per your job description, you had to then carry on and overextend yourself doing other people's jobs for the sake of a production where you've been hired just to be a part of the crew. Yeah, all I want was this content corner, and then these people now clearly you guys are running a mess of a production here. And now I have to fix things because I've been in productions where things work and that is not working. That's going to lead into trouble. So now you have to overextend yourself.
Yes. And then, so gube layer, right? So we, drop scenes, which means extra days going into the production and stuff. And then after that, gube indaba yama diaries. So this couple is a religious couple, ne? Which is fine, right? They got commissioned for a show, Yamadlozi, which is also fine. You can be highly Christian and
be involved in the ancestral side of your life.
Yes, right? But now it felt as though some of the things that were prohibited on the show were very religion-based. There's a time when the cast spoke about going to the strip club and it was story and it worked.
Yeah.
And Phindi was DM'd me and said, make sure the strip club doesn't happen. Hi, you're saying, Uguti, I must change the content. I must mess with the content because you don't believe in this thing. But it's something that the cast has called for. They have called for it. It worked so well. Like it's a storyline that worked because the Togoza ladies, the Togozas in the relationships were the women in the relationships. And it was women who have a makehla. So their partners felt overpowered by the women. They felt like, I'm stifled in this relationship and now I actually need to go let loose. So when they got together and they sat and they drank and they were like, no, let's go to a strip club. We need to release. Let's go be free. Let's go be men.
Is this what is happening on that show?
Yes. And then
this might increase the ratings, by the way.
Well, did you guys show it?
And then
Can you imagine that?
You didn't show it.
I'm telling you, I organized.
Oh my God.
So we found a strip club that was going to host us, give us free drinks. We found a strip club, like our production team.
Which one was it? Was it Summit?
No plug. Remember, Sipi Mali, Gal.
To do with payments.
So then we find the strip club and the strip club is ready. They're ready to have us. Phindi, first, I fight for it. I'm like, dog, we have to shoot this. It's part of the story. It is real. We are shooting a reality. We can't not shoot that. She agrees for a bit. Nah? In the group, she agrees. She's like, it's fine. So we give details and all of that stuff. Text me on the side. Make sure the strip club doesn't happen. Something to that effect. Which I don't want the strip club thing.
So we have to drop that day we were going to shoot the strip club. We had to drop that on the schedule, meaning we have to find a different activity. So now finding the different activity takes few more days.
Yeah, you don't just
and then we
like
have to
something
book
you wanna
other
wear.
people. And then we found quad biking for them,
You
which
don't
is
just- you
so
don't
mild
just replace a strip
compared
club.
to
Imagine.
Now you're replacing a strip club with a quad bike.
And I think it would have been great content.
It
Because
was
think about
great
it.
content.
Sangoma is going to a strip club.
Exactly. Already.
And it was authentic. That's what
It was
they wanted.
authentic. It was authentic. Slay was flipping on her partner. She was like, "You're not going to no damn strip club. You're not going." It was story. It was story. She messed with the story from behind. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever, girl. The strip club is not happening. You're the boss of the company, whatever. But it extended days because we were supposed to shoot on that day. We had to drop that day and then book other days,
There
right?
goes your budget.
There goes the budget. Then we were supposed to have a retreat where we go away and whatnot. I find a sponsor.
Yo.
I find
You were doing
a
the most for the
sponsor.
production. Talk about above and beyond.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Wait,
She-
so,
she
I
reach
want to
out-
hear now. So after this
extra
time,
mile.
during this time,
No, I'm building to that.
No, I'm saying during this time, what are they saying about you? Your
Nonchalance.
Zero.
I
Pindi
mean,
even
she
asked
was
me,
the executive producer at this point.
Yeah.
Pindi even asked me because somebody said, yeah, because Ayanda is very involved and she knows everything.
So
and
the
so,
line producer
and then
wanna
Pindi was like,
yeah.
yeah, no, Ayanda, why are you involved in everything? I'm like, I just found you a sponsor. Are you kidding me? Just, I don't care.
Oh, so you're EP now.
Escape me.
Everything.
Please leave me.
And she still didn't get paid.
So then, I find a sponsor. The sponsor says, I do the meetings, ne? I did the proposal. I did the budget. The sponsor agreed, asked their people in the US, Uguti, listen, channel-wise, this is going to work. I find out from channel what the deal is marketing-wise. Uguti, what do we do barter-wise? So the sponsor says, okay, I've agreed on everything. The guys from the US are agreeing on everything. My board is agreeing. So I just need to meet with the company owners because they're the ones that I'm going to sign this thing with. I believe in this for you, right? I'll take your cost on holiday with crew. I budgeted for 18 crew members to go on holiday. The thingy in Limpopo was in Bela Bela, one of the nice, expensive ones. Crew was going to stay there. They were willing to pay for that.
And that is very expensive, by the way.
So then, on the day of the meeting, we're sitting in the meeting. It's an online meeting. It's not even like come through to my offices. Online meeting. I call Pindi. No answer. I call Mo. No answer. I call them. No answer. They just blue tick. Then they send a message in the group. They're like, can't Neo do it? Neo's the producer.
Aibo.
No.
They're like, can't Neo do it? I'm like, I really did emphasize that this guy said he'd like to meet the company owners because they're the ones who are going to sign the documents. I beg you, just log in. Guess why they missed that sponsorship? So the sponsor was like, no, never mind. Pulled it and said, call me when you do your own production. Guess why the sponsor, why they think,
Were they at church?
They're dropping a lot of bombs.
no, they,
drop the bombs one
What
by
were they
one.
doing? Were they at
They-
church?
Yeah.
Mo was on stage doing motivation speaking, like Vusi Tembugwayo.
I'm sorry. Did you all get that?
So,
Motivation.
Mo, I asked and they're like, no, sorry. The thing is, Mo's on stage and he's doing motivation speaking and,
What was she doing?
She was
holding them up.
yeah, she was there. I don't know what she was doing. And I
So
was
she
like,
could
okay,
have
why
attended.
couldn't you join? She's like, oh, sorry, network. I was like, for a sponsorship of over 200K for us to go for 2 days, that was 2 episodes. So what I'm saying with this is that they had complained about budget. I made sure that we don't overspend
think about
on
budget.
my content dreams. So therefore, I will find a way to fund my content dreams. So then, that falls away. Ne? After Lapo, now it's time to shoot diaries. We agreed with Channel, Uguti, this is a Sangoma show, so it needs to have Sangoma identity. So the diaries need to have this Sangoma feel to them. The arts people are briefed. Everybody is briefed. We all agree to the commissioning editor's vision because we are like, yeah, we see the vision. I sent things from Pinterest, you know. She agreed. We created like a little, Futin Togozo was helping me, a mood board, you know. Commissioning editor liked it. We said, okay, we're going to give you what you want. We gave it to the arts department. The art department went to buy that stuff. Right. This is other money being spent, right?
Yeah.
They bought that stuff. On the day we're doing diaries, the exec lady says, this is too sangomari.
So
I don't want this stuff.
So goes on Muntum is too
So,
summary.
yes.
Thank you.
Oh.
So don't put stuff up. So we didn't use that, which means money
gone.
not
Lost.
spent again.
Yeah.
So we didn't use the sangomari things. Like we used, maybe there was an elephant there on the
This budget
table
is nice, no?
and there was a thing there and there was a thing there. But the identity that the art directors had gone for was not there as per instruction. So on the day we're shooting, so money lost again. So on the day you have to send pictures to the commissioning editor to go ahead. In fact, it's better if they're there, yabo. But she was working on Clash of the Choirs, so it was the day when they were also shooting there. So we send her pictures. She says, this is beautiful, but it's not what we agreed on. And she's right, because this is gorgeous. It was lit well, but it's not what we agreed. Where is the Sangoma identity? This looks like all the other diaries on the channel. So the diaries had to be delayed, which means delay of production, which means more days, more money being lost. So all the things, you heard Ngite, we created the mood board Nontogos, which means I was involved in a thing that I was not supposed to be involved in.
Mood board should have been there, the treatment. First.
Exactly. So in what I'm building towards is the fact that I put so many things in place to make sure that we don't go over budget and over time. So that by the time this production wraps, I go do my baby shower, give birth, sit with my newborn, nibe happy. Things go over regardless because of all these things that have been happening.
Domino effect.
Yes. So then they say, we don't have money inyamalele. Oh, and then one of the messages in the group, ear crew by the producer is that, we're just waiting on content. You're waiting on me. Oh, you're blaming me for all these delays. You're blaming me for everybody not being paid. You're saying, my little content beats are the reason that crew is not paid. Not the fact that y'all have done all these things to delay this production and now channel doesn't trust you and they're not giving you your money. In fact, I don't even think they were not given their money. They were conditions. We need to see you can deliver these episodes, deliver these number of episodes.
Milestones.
Yes, they had milestones to reach. And instead of saying they've got these milestones to reach, they're saying, no, we're waiting on the content. What are they talking about?
Always
I wake up every morning and send content beats. And I had already started in July when the post-production company didn't even want to open that folder because this company had not paid. So essentially they're saying all of y'all are not paid because of Ayanda. In fact, now Ayanda, you're not paid because of Ayanda.
After you've done so much.
I am my own enemy.
You are your own
essentially, in this whole thing. I was so mad, guys. I was fuming. There's a day where I actually broke down when the doctor said to me, Uguti, I think you're highly stressed and I think you're very angry and it's affecting the growth of your baby. I think I'm actually going to cry now because I'm just like, my baby came out so small and I had such a difficult birth because I had such a stressful pregnancy because of this. And I had worked so hard to make sure that none of this happened. And it actually happened. And not just happened. That's just not even the little things. That's just one side of things. Because I was taking daggers that were not meant for me. I was taking daggers from cast. Like I would say, Uti, guys, what does your contract say? Why are you making them shout at me for things that are in the contract that you drew up? Why am I taking the daggers that are supposed to come to you?
Apart from the technical things of your job and content directing and stuff, lest we forget what type of a show this is as well. As we said in the beginning, or we need to also be cognizant of the fact that these people that believe they've got their own spiritual beliefs, they've got their own religious beliefs and stuff.
Yeah,
so
but you
as much as you can take daggers on stage as well as black people, it's like, dude, but also you're doing a show, Lili Sangoma.
Yeah,
so what type of other daggers are you also taking? Because
spiritual daggers. I actually took spiritual daggers because our makeup artist heard one of the cast members say on a phone call, Uguti sinesita esisha. Igamo Ayanda Umasisi sent a picture of me
I was just
and said,
that's ridiculous.
go to the mountain with a spear.
So basically,
This
they
is
wanted-
our new enemy.
No, it gets deeper.
So they
I
were
was
royal
walking
blood.
into I was walking into Ndumbas. I was at funeral parlors, highly pregnant.
And mind you, you're not
I'm
supposed
pregnant.
to be.
not
I'm not
supposed to.
supposed to be at those places.
You're not.
I'm
It's
not.
too
I'm not.
spiritually heavy.
I'm not supposed to be around immunity. And I was always around that stuff. But now I'm pregnant, and one of the sangomas wants to get pregnant. She can't get pregnant. She's gonna. It's medical. And
Is this all on this show?
This is all on the show.
This,
And now her man.
what was that in it?
Every time.
But ladies and gentlemen, I need you guys to all watch
It's on catch up.
Hey, we're plugging it proper.
Every time I come into the makeup
We
room,
shouldn't be plugging
her
in
man
though.
is like, "You need your feet." to be up."
Well,
He wanted
some
a baby.
content is removed.
He wanted a baby, so he's like, "No, put your feet up. Put your feet up. No, you're supposed to be eating this. No, don't drink that." So he was bekang tetemisa because I am carrying what he
Oh,
wants.
so she was jealous of that.
So Miguel was like, "There's our new enemy.
Oh my God.
There's
But
the guy."
babes, you can't be guys.
You know, she broke down because she wanted to beat me up on
Hi.
set in my last month, in my third trimester. And she's like, Fella's pregnant.
what?
She kicked a chair. And I was like, guys, roll. Are you rolling?
Like a real
I was
content
like-
producer.
No, because I was quiet. I get it. They
Nyabuzo
used to me
content.
briefing and they are able to then say, Uguti, no, I end up briefed us rudely. That's why we behaved in that way. So that whole episode, I was quiet. That whole shoot, I was quiet. And I was like, okay, you will lead yourselves. You'll do your own content. Uthulile man, uthulile. Hayi uthulile. Ah, girl, what do you want?
Y'all were working with psychos.
That's how angry she was. She was mad that I had been removed because she was causing violence on set. So she moved. So I was moved, right? I was driven home.
So that's
She was like, "You guys do not reprimand." There's a day when she was screaming after we did diaries, and I said, "Okay, do you want a conversation or do you want to emotionally dump on me? Because I only have capacity for one. I'm pregnant." And she was like, "Yeah, we're not." Ngapho Uber yathi tweet ngathi uzong email ke lama emotions ngicela ukuhamba. Ngaphuma ngihamba wascreama at everyone, "Why aren't you shouting at her? Why aren't you reprimanding her?" I was like, "Girl, no."
Because sometimes
That's
the
a
best
lot
thing
of
is to walk
emotions
away.
for me.
Okay, so you did all of this.
So all of this that I went through that risked my pregnancy.
The trauma.
And then I get told
Not to get paid.
at the end that, "Sorry, you ain't finna get paid." I'm like, the least you could do is pay me. Like,
I've
the
got
least
one
you could do.
question.
You couldn't defend me. You couldn't do this. The least you could do is give me my goddamn
On time.
But for
I've
that
got
money.
one question.
On time.
I've got one
On
question.
time.
One question. Oh, ngamshaya.
Hi, Bo.
She was pregnant.
Ay, lisang.
So what?
Ay,
No,
lisang.
guys, pregnancy is not a disability. I know for a fact. Yeah, I can kick. I know. Yeah, I can kick someone's ass.
No, but like, if,
No, I almost did.
what if she
Job
fell?
though,
Like, she could have
but
fallen on her stomach.
But people carried me out of the fight.
No,
They were
no.
like, "You're pregnant!"
Bending,
And my legs were like,
Oh,
No,
wait.
no, I'm
wait.
saying
So
this-
you almost fought.
someone in my hood, yeah.
No, but I'm saying
When you're pregnant.
I'm saying this because I know Yaya can defend herself. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you held all of this in. The pregnancy, Yaya is probably gonna say, guys, pregnancy is not a disability. Number
No,
one.
but it's like, listen, she was heavily pregnant at that time.
It's
I
not
mean,
a
if you're, like,
disability.
4 months,
it's her new self.
Okay, I wanna come back to the payments. So that payment, was it for a month or for the period of?
So it was the final salary that was meant to
Oh.
come in. So I was like, you know what, just give me my final salary. Let me just bounce because I want nothing to do with you, and you.
And
And
you.
your work was done.
And
wrapped
you.
up.
And my work was complete.
They had the
and they had extended the contract to include post. So when my content contract ended, we spoke about me doing post. So there's the post.
Were you in constant communication with the EPs?
Yes.
Were you on the call sheets?
Yes.
Did you log your hours of work?
Yes. Well, they are logged because it says 12 and
Everybody
one-
recognized you as an employee that had the
Yes.
power to?
Yes.
Ha! You see how many sides there are to this thing of non-payment, right?
When these payments are being delayed, are they communicating with you that these payments are being delayed and why they're being delayed? Or do you have to inquire? Because if you owe me, I expect the courtesy of you informing me that I cannot pay you on the pre-agreed date.
The first time, I think they communicated through the producer, right?
Yeah.
So it was, "Wuti, guys,
Or before
sorry."
they removed you from the group.
Yes. So, guys, sorry, this payment won't come this month.
This
Everybody
month.
freaked out, right?
Not even it's delayed by a couple of days.
Yeah,
It was
this
just
month.
blatant. Sorry, guys.
yeah, to be honest, you're likely to be paid end of October. This is mid-September, right?
Cindy's.
So it's like,
Lucky.
okay. So Mina, I was still like, okay, sharp, whatever, right? Until September. Now people are like, okay, but we didn't even agree to this. We were told, nah, there wasn't agreement. And I was also quiet because I was still in the process of editing in post, ne? And because they had communicated and they said, Wuti, the more episodes we deliver, the more channel will say, Wuti, we've reached that milestone and then give you that money. So I was pushing to make sure that, okay, cool. You know, we do that. So I was just quiet. So then, essentially, the producer then said, Gucci guys, we're not likely to get paid this month, blah, 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 blah. Everybody freaked out. Woman is silence for a whole, I think it was 3 weeks or whatever into October. And we didn't know what was going to happen, right? So they weren't communicating. They had to be forced to be put in. I had to ask Ntokozo, I said, Ntokozo, add these people in. Add these people in the group, because what the hell? Added them in, and then they posted what they posted. Crew freaked out the way they freaked out and whatnot. Then we got paid. Some people got paid a little bit of their money. I know I got paid a third
Production allowance.
of what, yeah.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, so they gave me a third of what I was supposed to get. Fine, whatever. That was October, right? November, I had just given birth on the 11th. My baby is 11 baby.
Hello, Bobo.
Hello. So I just given birth. And after those weeks, so my boyfriend sent me money.
Yes,
So he
I
sent
get.
me money.
Baby mama allowance.
And I was fine. But
Choose wisely.
it's because I was really into the whole baby, and so I didn't have those financial stresses. Essentially, that's what I'm saying. But I didn't have financial stresses, so I didn't.
So you're
follow
speaking from a
up.
point of privilege.
I mean, just a little bit. Just a teeny, really tiny bit.
So
She's just
I-
better man.
Ubayekile because like no rights.
Bengi right.
Bega right. Bega
I was
nendoda.
immersing myself.
But then when you start,
in
The journey
in the
of
journey
motherhood.
but that's a point of privilege. There's people that don't have that privilege.
No.
Where now they're sitting
And
in your position.
I will tell you, Uguti, why this episode is actually very sad, because so I was able to then ignore them during that time. But towards Christmas, I realized that me and I wanted to have matching outfits with my baby, and Ekaya, you had to contribute whatever, and there was, all these things. And I was like, I don't have that money
December, who pays?
actually. And
I'm supposed to have that
boyfriend
money.
allowance, my girlfriend allowance, semele manje iyenze izinto ezi-salary. I was like, no, dog, may I please have my money? And they kept quiet. And I said, okay, I'll ask Twitter to ask you for my money.
And we did.
May I please have my
And
money?
we did.
We did.
And I was
We
like,
really did.
so
Hi guys, can you guys
Christmas-
please help us, these people?
Yeah, I'm like, it's Christmas. What annoyed me is that, right? I think this is the mistake of productions, but we'll speak about it later. Uguti, when they receive the money from channel, I think productions misconstrue what that lump sum is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they forget that they actually have a percentage that they take.
Yes.
Yes.
So the production money is not your money to go live your life.
No, it's
And buy
not.
Gucci.
It's what?
It's
Production money.
So I and most of us had a confusion. You're going to, okay, why are you posting Gucci on your status when
Can
you
we
owe me?
just-
Mina, please act poor, Mongolo, because
Wasn't there also
Why
an
are
And
you
I know
throwing?
how much that
Yeah.
that everything. What is
Why
it called?
are
That
you
everything took
throwing
back.
a Cinderella's ball of a metric dance for your
Oh yes,
child
I saw that.
when you owe me? I can't go to Pep to go buy my child clothes for Christmas.
Isogis.
And you have designed a dress for your daughter for matric dance. You've designed.
That was
I don't care
lavish.
if you saved your own money to do this or whatever, but it's crass to flaunt that to us while you still owe us.
You used the perfect word.
Put your account on private
Crass.
or something. Block us so that we don't see. Because next thing I'm seeing you in Sun City. And it's close to Christmas, and now it's happy life, happy. Why you happy? Minangi said, why?
It's like this.
And I know how much those tickets cost. Now I look at homecoming.
You
What?
guys are used to poverty. You will survive hunger.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Hungry.
You don't deserve.
You've probably
lavish
experienced
anything.
it a lot of
So
times.
because of the traction of those tweets, then the conversation about payment came back, and they started putting timelines for themselves. At some point, I said, "Ngicela uthenge i-CBM or hamba uthatha ama-business loan." Mina
Because you can because I mean imali
angeke
yakho.
uhambe nge-BM ungolode uyohlala kuma-estate miss one rent
Bayenze
payment or something, I
nama-Cinderella
don't know.
ball.
ngoba wena yakhe
Do
rent
something.
ibhadala ubani?
Who's paying my rent? When your bond is secure, when you're secure, I mean, I don't have life security. I'm sorry, I need my money. Please, I'm gonna tweet. So the people on Twitter were compelling them to pay. So then they felt the pressure. But now when I checked, so they've paid me. When we checked in the group, the crew, because we reopened the crew group. We were like, she didn't open this group. Why is she closing it? So we reopened it. When we checked in the group, I'm the one who got paid. Everybody else didn't get paid.
Only because you made a noise.
Yes, and then Fonele Urachesh, Jack Devna Rain.
Jack. So I'm so sorry, Jack. I'm so sorry, but it's a thing. You are Rajesh.
Jack Devna Rain was WhatsApping me, and he was like, what's the deal with you people? Not you people. What's the deal with you guys? Like, what have you agreed on? What's going on? And I told him, and he said, do you want to give them like a window period? They pay you or whatever. And I said, Wuti, they're probably going to pay me, but I'll update you. And then he was like, okay, let me know. But I know someone from their church saw my tweets. And that's what's really compelling them, because
So
their
you have to
pastor-
find
their
the
pastor
religion, find the spirituality,
God.
number one.
Their pastor
Number two, go find the
did
religion, find their
something or said
pastor.
something, and they felt the pressure and they paid me.
Wait,
but the
it's
rest
finding-
of our crew
it's-
is not paid.
Basically, it was finding that little point in their lives where they know ukuthi if we
Laba
don't
mncane
look
khona.
right, bazothini abantu.
So everyone
As
had
feeling
to find a
bazothini abantu
strategy
thini.
to get paid.
Yes.
So you
from-
can call Inkabis and say,
Oh, the makeup artist, yeah, now she was threatening with all these things. Bampatale in full. Make no mistake.
did she say she was going to
Bega
call
organize the inkabi. Now bampatale in full.
And there was also the church thing.
Yeah.
The protest.
Oh, she was, yes. So I got the idea from her, actually. She was like, Mina, I told them that I'm going to come to their church, and they paid me in full. I was like, actually, let's stage a protest. Let's go to their church.
I still believe if we crew
Let's go.
Let's go to
we
the
must
church.
do it
Let's go.
because in solidarity.
Yes, of the
Honestly.
crew. So my thing is, right, I'm mentioning the fact that I got paid and other people didn't get paid because I tweeted and it got traction. So that in itself is a privilege, to be able to reach an audience in order to get that money.
Kodwa nakhona with the threat.
There is an editor in our industry who actually committed suicide after 4 months of non-payment from a production company who didn't have the privilege to tweet and compel a company to pay him. And he was in my situation, had a newborn, and now he's a guy. So the lady,
The pressure is a
uhleli
lot.
endlini, and therefore he's not providing. And as a person who's a guy, who's a provider, who's got all these things, firstly, he's always at work. They're working crazy hours. There's one weekend where I was actually with him on the Friday until like 8 p.m. at that company. And when I got home, he was still, like, I left at 8 p.m., which means I got home at 9. He was still at the office trying to fix this episode. On Saturday, he was still at the office, same hours. On Sunday, they called me, Sunday night, and we were on the phone for 45 minutes. Mind you, I had already written like the edit script, everything, given him everything. The company owner just decided, Wuti, he's not going to go according to my vision. I said, nigga, it's your company, it's your production, you do you. And they stayed with that editor for the whole weekend. Then at night, I was like, no, dog, we've been on this phone for 45 minutes. I'm with my boyfriend. I need my me time. I've like, it's a Sunday night. I've done 45 minutes. I think I've paid my dues for this episode. Can I just exit? The next morning, the company owner threw a tantrum at me. Uguti, I wasn't willing to basically be on the phone with them the whole night because the editor was willing to, do the whole weekender.
Because that's what we do.
And then, the company owner was like, he found some stupid excuse to throw a tantrum and say, if you don't produce this in 15 minutes, then consider yourself fired. I said, laptop, close, consider me fired now. Let me fire myself.
Who's considering who?
And then I went downstairs, had a Savannah and a tequila, and that was
love it. That's good
with
medicine.
me and that company. Then I sent an email, I said, here are my invoices, please pay me. And there was a back and forth, and they paid me, right?
Invoice.
But then it turned out that exact month, nobody else was paid in the company. Then the following month, nobody else, including this editor who spent the weekend, nobody else was. So it was month 2. What's in month 3? Month 4 was December. And now December's worst when it comes to household expenses and demands from a man or family
And the
or whatever.
family when you go home for holidays.
He sent a message.
How do you go home when you've got nothing to go
Can you
home
please,
with?
where's your phone?
My phone is there with you.
And then Untonano sent a message to Chris and it was sent to the editors group. And his message, he said, I only have this to say. Don't overwork, take regular retreats and go home. Spend time with those close to you and hold them dear. Our business is also the worst enemy for our mental health. It's worse than any drug you know. Switch off on a regular basis. Travel, find a hobby that takes your mind off the business, off the day. Do whatever, safeguard your mental health like it's the last thing you have because that's what it is. Peace be upon y'all. And then he committed suicide.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hectic.
that sounded
That's
like
deep.
someone who was very tired.
Yeah, no, he's
know,
enough.
Because I can imagine
You can hear the letting go in that
he
message.
probably asked for the money a couple of times up to the point where he was just
Show me
like,
4 months.
Also to his
I'm
limits,
never
because
gonna get it.
he's a person.
There's no
Everybody's
need
got
for
their
you to be
limits.
asking for your
salary.
payment
There's no need for you to
4
be asking
months
for your
later
salary.
in the blink of an eye.
Oh, mind you, the same company also bought new offices or got new offices, rented new offices or whatever. There was a new house that was bought. I think new cars and all of that. Like,
While all these people,
a few episodes there, and
I've
blatantly refused them.
oh, you see, so they could afford. Oh, they were trying to replace him with you. They didn't know that he's your friend.
And the thing is, here's the
because
thing.
you're lying.
As video editors,
No ways.
we have a thing. There's a thing about us, especially the old school video editors. There's a thing that we have amongst ourselves.
Do this?
It's a little code that we have amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take a job because after you've just been screwed over.
Yeah.
That's
It's
not
like bro code.
And this is not just a screw over. Now this is worse. He was not paid and he suicided.
And he's
so now you're gonna replace me. You're gonna replace my friend who just committed suicide.
No, my man.
so now
What
you're
do you
going to
mean?
end up in the same
Forget about
My
situation.
best work.
What do you mean?
That is so crass.
Forget about it.
What do you mean?
Forget about it. And anyway,
Anyway, I need a drink. You need to be.
Let's have a bathroom
I need
break.
to breathe because I'm getting emotional. I think maybe I'm gonna do less personal stories after this.
Plug the socials before we take a break.
Oh yes.
Thanks, Kuda.
Let me plug the socials. Ngicela nisfollow for more stories like this.
Media change.
On Media Change.
That is so full.
On Twitter, we are at Media Change SA. On Instagram, we're at Media Change Agents. On Facebook, you type Media space Change space Agents. LinkedIn, Media Change Agents. We've got a backup buddy link because we want to have film festivals where we would be able to actually have more panel discussions like this, masterclasses, screen some of our films, do our own thing, so that eventually we actually don't rely on production companies. We become self-sufficient. So support that mission on Backup Buddy. Drop in some coins. The link is in the description. And yeah, I know we're not on TV, we're on YouTube and Aikoi after the break.
But after this break,
we need a
never know.
breather. No,
Wait,
guys,
but you forgot to.
we need a drink.
You forgot the most important plug. Guys, we're on freaking which camera am I? That one, eh? Oh, this one. This is my
Whichever.
favorite one. This one. I like this one.
I've seen it, it's cute.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the show. I don't want to look at them yet.
Good side.
But anyway, I forgot the most important thing because we're on YouTube. You see that button down here? There's a like button, and you see the red one next to it. Subscribe. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And
send us some
comment.
comments as well.
So, Ukranjo, are you okay now?
We're good.
Did we release? Is it all out? Did we purge? Was that cathartic?
Was that?
The beginning of the healing process.
Slowly.
No, I mean temperatures will always rise, but before Ushai top, we must tell Usa
Yes.
and move that because it's always going to be a hot topic and it's always just gonna set your ass on fire. Now, I've had the good fortune or the misfortune of being on either side of the story. I have been a freelancer who hasn't been paid. Yes, I left freelancing in 2018 and there are people who owe me payments from 2018 that I just had to write off to the universe. You know yourselves. Are you not ashamed? Are you not embarrassed?
Are you not embarrassed?
How do you live with yourself? How do you sleep? But let's take it back to the channel. I've also been a commissioning editor.
Yes.
And I've been responsible for signing off on these payments. So if I give you a contract to produce a show or to do anything, there are deliverables that I want to see at each stage. And I know with like the national broadcaster, they will give you the first payment before you even start, for you to start.
Yes.
And so that you've got some money.
Because the initial thing is suppliers need to be paid first in the beginning, and the things that need to be sourced and paid for cash immediately, right?
Spot on.
That's for it. Okay.
And even to set up and your pre-prod and what have you need that
And
money.
offices. I think you guys paid for
Spaces, what have you.
Yes.
But also, then when a producer is now starting, you've got a budget, you've got a schedule, you've got a timeline, and the most important thing is a cash flow schedule.
100%.
With any business, you manage your cash flow. You know when the money must come in and when the money must come out. You manage with timings. Or okay, when we start this phase and whatever we start post, we are ready. We need 300,000 because post and shooting will be concurrent. You know, it's you kind of work it out. So in an ideal world, it should just flow like this. Ideally. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
So if we don't stick to the cash flow, it could be the producer's fault. So you didn't, like, you were dropping days. So with your deliverables and whoever's going to look at what you promised with this budget by this time, I can't sign it off.
Yeah.
And also I'm managing the risk for the broadcaster. They gave us this money to say, we can't lose it. If this thing is going to fall flat, I can't lose all the money. What was I doing not monitoring that you're delivering at each stage?
So you're using milestone money.
Yes.
So when you do the milestone thing, it's more like risk mitigation.
Yes, 100%.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
So that in case something happens, you're like, at least we didn't lose 100% of the money.
Yes.
Do you guys have, so if you're saying, Guti, it's risk mitigation and you don't lose 100% of the money, and let's say they do fall on the side of the risk where you like, that's not where I wanted to be, and they actually don't deliver. Is that to say, it's okay, we still have the remaining money, let's get someone else to continue this contract?
So the good thing about it is commissioning editors are human beings and we understand dynamics within the production.
Yes.
And also we understand life happens. I mean, if you're planning to shoot outdoors for 3 days and you get rained out, I'm not going to hold that against you. What if you need the money now so that you can catch up? Because we had not planned for that in cash flow.
Sure.
So it's all a negotiation. And that's why you must be open. Play open cards. So if you're being shady, then you can't tell me where this money is going and I can't sign off unless you can show me. So if we are working together and we're all signing off, we can show each other.
So the commissioning editor is human. So this risk mitigation, ne? Is it if in case if this company is unable to deliver, then you guys replace them or you help them? But do you have, commissioning editors are human, do you have the heart when the company keeps doing things that are opposite to what you have briefed, opposite to what you have asked for, opposite to all those things, and then those problems really bite them in the ass? Because so do you still extend courtesy there? Because sometimes I feel like we exhausted her.
She posted
because my primary role is to make sure that that show goes on air. So when I say we monitor to mitigate risk, it's not for us to pull it off air. It's for us to manage the risk. Avoiding risk is to not say when it's there, we walk away.
You're not gunning for failure.
No,
Yes.
it's like we can.
Everybody's losing if you gun for failure. Yeah.
We're seeing the problem. It's in wherever we milestone 2 and we've got 6. We mitigate it. We come up with whatever intervention we need
100%.
to keep it going. My my primary desire is not even to hand it over to someone else. What if they mess it up? They don't know the original
Exactly.
vision.
Yeah.
What if it looks
Because
different?
execution is the aim of everybody. You guys want to execute this product, and I want to execute this product getting broadcast. So we're actually working together, and every single milestone that you set is to mitigate the risk of it failing, which is what we both don't want.
That's the thing. And you know what I used to hate as a commissioning editor? When you're supposed to deliver and they go, oh no, I'm 5 minutes away. Or it will be ready in an hour. When you're saying it will be ready in an hour, you're not giving me the power to mitigate. So if you're not telling me there's the payments problem and whatever, be transparent. I'm not the enemy. We're working together to deliver this thing. When you deliver, I win. When you deliver, you win.
Yeah.
So if everything is straight as it should be, we've been complying, we've been working together and collaborating, meeting each other's deliverables. Even when we fail to, we should be so transparent that I can say, I saw you put your best effort in.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to say your heart is in the right place and life is happening to you. You're not messing up. Therefore, we will mitigate it this way.
Yes.
So if you're telling me you're 5 minutes.
Payment-wise, right?
Payment-wise.
So in terms of
In everything
this payment
wise.
was supposed to come in this week, but the finance department is not in or whatever. So I see you need this money on Thursday. I'm gonna fight to get it on Friday instead of next Thursday.
Yes. And when I go to the
Because you
finance
said, like,
department-
number one, everybody's human, right?
Yeah.
I've been in a situation which was mitigated nicely by a person that I considered a client that said, but the other thing about mitigating the risk is that sometimes it comes as a knock to somebody, because don't forget, you know how sometimes you sign a contract where the payment comes in 90 days, right? By them saying we'll pay you in 90 days, technically, number one, you should be, if you're a production company, you should be able to pay for it, right? But then you speak to a human that says, okay, I understand. I'd need to give you, maybe let's come to payment terms of, let me give you 50% of that so that you can kick off the production, and I'll give you 50% in a set amount of days. That set amount of days, we take it to the business side of things and how money works, that if I keep his money in my bank account for a set amount of days more, I'm actually earning interest. It's a little avenue for income still. It's an income stream still for a major. And then they can say to you, because you're speaking to a human, that listen, there are loopholes to this thing. Because I remember I did some production with some other clients, and I was having this fight about, no guys, it's December. I have to pay my people now. And like, I don't care what you guys are saying about this. Hey, Mama has to take a profit from there. Mama has to do this. So it's doing this to percentages. Now, this is the accounting of it all, that it needs to make sense to all the parties involved. For us to release this project together, there's so many other parties that are still at play. Everybody is running a business, number one. Number two, in the aspect of running a business, everybody still has to make their own little profit cut in their own way. So now it becomes a big fight to say, if you take this money earlier than 90 days, we are going to have to take a 5% cut. And that means a 5% cut of everyone's profit. And unfortunately, Lesango can't. Now I have to stand for the crew and say, guys, it's December. There's no ways in hell that you are telling me that the people must wait till January.
Oh, they don't do that. Though.
Sorry, we can't. No, I'm saying this is a situation I've actually been in.
I'm saying, Muti,
and the
that's
mitigation
what's
was
supposed
the
to
same. Now we're going to fight because this is the 5% that it's cutting from all our profits. That's your crew. You're the producer. You're the producer of that. So it's actually your problem. But now we all have to take a cut. I said, guys, I'll put my neck on the line. And unfortunately, I'm not going to take money in January when everybody needs it in December. And unfortunately, we all have to take that cut. And we have to take the cut. And the next day the money is in, then I could pay everybody. But the other thing is that it's a reputation mitigation.
Yeah.
So you're saying, Uguti, as a person or as crew, ne? It was okay for us to understand, Uguti, you're not paying in September because channel's not paying, and you gave us the reasons. But then when you went into October, they were taking too much liberties.
Exactly, because
we understood.
You also
if you're saying client is not paying,
yes.
then we're like, okay, cool. We understand our debts
100%.
are like, well, explain to our, I mean, we can't explain to our banks. They don't give a shit.
Nobody but you see what you said about your banks. Nobody gives a shit. Because the other thing is that if you're running a successful production company, nobody else should give a shit about your problems, actually. Your employees actually don't owe you the rights to understand you couldn't go and tell clients, you couldn't go and tell channel, you couldn't go and tell them how I run my business. Like, guys,
people saying it's the human thing.
It's a two-way street.
Because
no,
what
the
I
human
said
thing
about
is communication.
So what I said about being quiet in September and stuff.
That's wrong.
It's because I understood as a human being, Uguti, okay, you're saying channel and
you
you've
didn't
got
have to,
deliverable.
yes.
I didn't have to,
Yes.
right? But I understood. But then going into October, now.
So here's my thing, right? If you're looking at someone that's working in corporate like myself,
Yeah.
there's never a time where my employer is gonna say, well, I need to extend your payment by this date.
Exactly.
Right?
Because
It
they're running
happens.
what? Proper systems, proper
You know, so
proper
they
accounting.
actually do take into account that, okay, I still need to pay this person on this specific
Yes,
date.
and I've got overheads, and I've got this.
So
yes.
that's not Elton's problem that
100%.
your money market account is not behaving the way that you thought it was gonna
100%.
behave. You know, and that's how it's supposed to be. So it's actually quite sad that with you guys, people get to choose when they want to pay you. Like,
You're so right. You know, my sister once said to me, like, when I started being into this creativepreneurship that we're gonna call this thing. But my sister said she's a chartered accountant and she was working at a big accounting sort of standard, like the accounting standard boards of South Africa, right? And she was saying, you know what the crazy thing for me, for entrepreneurs is, how does someone say they're going to pay you on 25th and they don't? Because for her, accounting wise, I don't understand how that makes sense where you're saying you're chasing an invoice. But I mean, conversations like this on podcasts like this are starting to I hope it opens up the minds of even production company owners to say, guys, it is wrong what we're doing because in corporate South Africa, on the 25th, hey, 25 of these people are getting paid. 25 of these people are getting paid.
And when there's a delay,
because
it's communicated.
Exactly. But then the
systems
systems are in place for that thing to be so completely automated that nobody ever fights. Whether a company made a profit or not during that month, your salary is coming.
It's not Lisa's
Why? Because
problem.
of how their cash flow statements are done.
Yeah.
Because of how their financial maturity is at that level.
But it almost has become a norm because my friends would be like, oh, let's do this, and we're putting money together. When is the deadline for payment? And they go the first. They're like, no, madam, 35. Like,
Do you know what's crazy, right? And I've been through a contract conversation like this, ne? My lawyer said, Uguti, people cannot create simulated contracts. A simulated contract, I hope I'm using the right word, is Uguti, there's the South African Constitution, and there's contract law, and there's labor laws, and CCMA and all these things, ne?
Yeah.
But then what production companies lean on is what they have decided to create as systems. So they decide, Uguti, they pay you at a certain date or like between the 25th and the 7th, and it doesn't match with the Constitution. So that's a simulated contract because now you're just creating your own law,
And then
your own
in
laws.
the contract, you want to say
And
that
then
but
it's
this
like,
contract
and then
applies
you
to the
say,
laws of South Africa.
but
No.
you agreed, it's like, no, dog, you gave me the contract,
agree,
and
but
I'm
the contract is actually-
under pressure because I need a job, and you're giving
But
me
then
the
the
job.
contract is null and void.
That contract is null and void because it's simulated. It's not it's not made against the Constitution of South Africa.
Yes.
A quick definition.
That's why we're seeing
Of a simulated-
definition on Google of simulated contracts. A simulated contract is an agreement between two or more parties that is not legally enforceable. It may look like a real contract, but it does not create any legal
Google is spicy
obligations
also.
or rights. In other words, it is just a pretend contract that has no legal effect.
Exactly.
Wait.
So
The question then becomes, and I'm not sure I can stand to be corrected. The question then becomes, if I sign that in an agreement, that's something completely different. Because it means that we are agreeing by the terms of this contract.
no,
it's not under
Constitution
contractual.
overrides that.
Really?
That's what my lawyer
I'm just
explained to me.
curious.
That's what my lawyer explained
So
to me.
if an
Uguti,
agreement
that
is-
overrides that. In that situation,
okay.
they get you out of that because they're like, what really? Then they look at the circumstances you agreed on. Uguti, okay, did you need a job? Oh, you got the job. So you're under pressure.
But also,
because
here's my
you
thing.
need the money. So
When it comes to such things, right, we can have a contract, but when it comes to anything that relates to work, you also need to follow the labor laws, right?
Yes.
So if your contract says you're going to be paid
Your contract can't be stepping on the labor laws.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in most cases, in this industry, they don't follow labor laws.
Everything.
That's why.
Everything about the industry.
When it suits them.
Even the call time.
so many things.
We've been here since 7.
Oh my God.
I was
And
actually,
another
yes.
thing, right? I think that's why there was the performers protection bill, right? It was to actually protect all these performers and people in the media industry so that they can actually understand that what these people are doing is a job. And it needs to be treated as
As a job. We're not here doing a hobby.
You're not
Yes.
playing around. So I cannot sit and say, well, Paul, you know what? I might just pay you next month. I'll see.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
so I'm just going to speak now.
Sorry.
So the other thing that you'll find is if you speak to the broadcaster's contract, it's definitely aligned to whatever laws.
Yes.
The contract that you sign with your producer or production company might not even link with the deliverables of the contract that they've signed with their broadcaster or whoever. And the other thing is, I am almost certain the stories that the producer makes themselves the middleman. The story that they tell the employees, oh, sorry, we haven't paid you because the whatever hasn't paid. And the story that they tell the commissioning editor, oh, sorry, we haven't done this because
Because
we're waiting for Ayanda. We're waiting for yes, we're waiting for content. The story is never consistent. It's he said, she said, and then the truth. The
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's always the truth.
Yes, and this is this is where, because the contracts are simulated. When people want to solve this non-payment thing, I've seen people do simulated solutions. I'm abusing that word. I'm butchering it. I'm slaughtering it.
What are these simulated
Simulators of tomorrow.
There was this production company I worked for, right? And we were hiring vehicles. Now, because we were very well known for not paying, none of the usual production vehicle suppliers wanted to hire us.
Yes.
So the production coordinator got very creative and found some other supplier in the taxi industry.
Not a taxi.
Yeah, no, and then they did have quantums. They're ready to take crew to wherever we worked. Month 1 invoice Tololo, and it was a one day shoot. Month 1 Tololo, month 2 Tololo, month 3 Tololo. One day I'm sitting there minding my own business. I see men in Brentwoods and walking in. They're driving in a quantum. By about 7, it was never tight. They walk to reception. They're like, Spunu Zanel. Zanel is the post-production coordinator. Zanel to lend to the sponsor because that's who booked them. What do they know?
So you were in this episode of Isbai.
I am just like, they're like, oh, Zanel, production coordinator. They're like, what does that mean? Tina Spunu was imali yetu. So your hierarchy, your organogram, you don't care. Zanele comes out, oh, she's this pretty young thing, she's petite. I'm sure they're like, how Skepsel law did not knock us off our money. She is really just a messenger. They're like, okay, you know what? It's yes, but no, actually, it's 2,000 rand. We make that money in
the blink of an eye.
In the blink of an eye. Actually, man, it's the disrespect that we are addressing today.
And one thing
They're
about
like,
taxi drivers, they don't take disrespect
no,
really well.
we're not
it's like that 2,000 rand is not collapsing my business.
It's the
It
reputation.
is how you treat me. You are taking me for a hat.
Yes.
And that is what I don't like.
And they came 07 with their striped tops.
I'm sure you all were shaking in your
Omega shoes everywhere. The whole stereotype. Full grown leisure. I was so happy. I actually wanted it to get violent. But then they were no, you know when you want to beat someone, but then you're like, maybe this one will beat them on my behalf.
Oh, so you
Yes.
You wanted them to fight your battle.
Then, agree. So I'm the other person that thing you was talking about. Uri, there's the Yaya who's a Puma Silwe.
Yeah.
I'm a pacifist. I'm like, can we talk about this? Can we? Yes, and there's something very important I forgot to say. In this industry, they take us not so seriously. Number 1, sign a contract, simulated or not. We'll deal with hopefully not simulated.
Some form of agreement.
Sign a contract with a fee, so that you've got,
schedule.
yes, because one of the reasons some people take us for a ride is because sometimes we get our jobs like this. It's like, be my content producer. Like, yeah, great. And then when you come, they're treating it like it's a favor. I'm like, no, we spoke about it casually, but I'm coming to work formally. There's nothing casual about how I'm going to work. So formalize, have the paperwork, because that is your receipts for saying you owe me. Oh, you based on, it can't be here.
Guys, WhatsApp also, as long as it's written, right? So, Mina, I'm a texter, Valen, so it's not even like it's a strategy or anything. I communicate everything via WhatsApp. Maybe in a relationship, I'm talking about WhatsApp.
It did.
But I know he got a plate saying be my girlfriend.
Yeah. Now that I think about it,
romantic.
you actually do WhatsApp like very, very well. Like if we had to analyze the level of skill that Yaya has for WhatsApp, amongst your friends, there's no friends of yours that have groups of industry colleagues discussing. In there, she's got communities.
No, she's optimized that
does
thing.
she have on
You
your
have to
WhatsApp?
optimize an app.
Yeah. When you ask her in the DMs, you WhatsApp, you asking a different animal.
She's the Messi of WhatsApp.
And also, just a question.
Yaya plays WhatsApp.
Just a question for you. How many group chats do you have on WhatsApp?
Around 70.
Yes, and I'm sure you text on all of them each
I
day.
communicate. Well, I read all of them.
Anxiety.
Lolly put me in a mommy group, so I read.
And text.
So
and
not
she
71.
types.
Okay.
Ayanda's messages always have read.
Let me answer the recourse.
I was gonna say, Uzi, on WhatsApp, learn business language. If you guys want that chatbot that Lisang plugged me on,
Oh, there's an amazing
in
chat.
order for you to formalize your language, your language doesn't even have to be formal. You just have to state your things in full.
Officiate.
So what I said when they were extending my contract, I knew they were not going to draw up a new contract to Monopede, right? So I said to Phindi, right, my content work for what you had hired me for has finished. It finishes in September. Going forward, my post-production work starts. And per episode, I'm going to charge you this much. Do you agree for that? Because I'm saying whether I'm doing it from home, whether I'm doing frame or I'm going to the studios, the fact that I'm going to sit and check each minute of this episode and break it down and say, I don't want this, I replace it with this. In fact, there was a recording, a phone that I remember shooting. They couldn't find it. I had to go listen to the audios, all the audios. I'm like, okay, I found it.
Hey, and then there's someone that's got time to go through evidence, ladies and gentlemen. Presenting Yaya on fire.
Evidence, Yana Grande.
But then WhatsApp is also WhatsApp is like end-to-end encrypted, right?
Yes.
Meaning they themselves never see what you guys are talking about.
I mean,
and
they
they're
say that.
unable to,
Yeah,
right?
that's what
Because
they say.
it gets encrypted, meaning it gets jumbled into letters and numbers and combinations of a certain code. A human can't figure out, right? But according to me, until a legal case gets brought up, surely they must be able to decrypt it. Why would you be able to encrypt something if you can't decrypt
They
it? Right?
can.
So
I think I've read
if you-
about cases where
So I think even in the Riva and Oscar case, I think for the first time, I stand to be corrected that for the first time, WhatsApp as evidence set a precedent in South Africa to say that WhatsApp now stands as a legally binding. So you can actually get into a formal agreement with somebody over a WhatsApp message.
I think under 15,000 Rand, you can go to the small claims court. They're very user friendly, and I've actually seen an employee. It was a researcher on my team who had done the work and left the production wrapped, finished, and they didn't get paid. I've seen the papers being served from the small claims court, and I was working for that production company, and
When the
they
sheriff
got paid.
came.
Yes. I have had
they
the
got
pleasure.
paid the full money, or did they do that thing? You would say, okay, we can't afford it, so patala 50 Rand.
No, they paid the full money.
Just
The other thing is people act like they don't care, but reputational risk is very important. So, including who you go tell.
that's why the pastor
It's reputational.
and
risk.
Rajesh.
Yes,
So
it's
knowing
important. So
you.
they will try to manage
So
that.
is it the same production company where then Gabby's came?
Actually, same country. and fact.
How do you know so
Nice
much?
collect.
Guys, you know Elton knows
I
a
do my
lot.
research.
Just so you
No,
guys
Elton knows a
know.
lot. Elton, you their research.
Just so you guys know, if small claims courts swiftly, affordably, and easily handle minor civil claims up to 20,000 Rand without the need for legal
And it's actually
representation.
true.
I'm
They
going
do solve a lot
tomorrow.
of the cases.
Are you going tomorrow?
Fridge.
So did the person get the money?
So fast. Very swiftly. Because
Yes.
they didn't want this little...
They don't want to catch that heat.
Yes.
Can we also check, Uguti, small claims court, how does it work? Is it with companies as well? So is it employee to employer or also companies? Because Mina,
So it's-
when I get into a production, I come in as a content supplier. So I bring my business. You sign my business and you pay my business.
So I think small
And
claims
then,
court.
So then that's why I don't think I could get into the CCMA thing because I was a company when I was signing with them. I was a content company and I do that with every production.
Yeah.
I'm a content company.
Yeah.
And that's why they also ask for my researchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at some point, there are some people who say, how much for your entire team?
Yeah.
They pay me that entire thing. Then I pay my team. Right? So
And you don't say channel is not paying, ne?
no.
So I think it works in terms of the value of the case and the type of case. I think where
But the nature of the person and business.
Yeah, but the judiciary then is split up into small claims magistrate, high court, Supreme Court, constitutional court. And I think from then on, it might be based on the amount or the type of cases. I'm not sure. I'm not a lawyer.
CCMA.
So no, I'm
CCMA
saying,
is for an
but
employee.
these are now a civil case, right? Civil case meaning me and you as civilians, we're fighting about something and we need a judge to mediate. So a civil case between you and I that's under the amount of 20,000 rand will be automatically it's a small claims court type of argument.
Yeah.
Whether it's your company against my company or not, we're civilians
It's
fighting
a
each other.
civilian. It's a basic. I was about to say.
So here's the
sorry, I was about to say, Oguti. It says, so there's
Am I right? I need a law degree for free.
No.
there's an FAQ, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't know frequently asked questions.
Okay.
Can I open a case against someone who owes me money? Right. The response on Google is if the person owing your money has not paid the claim in 14 days, go to the small claims court with a copy of the letter of demand.
So you need a letter of demand, yes.
2, a post slip or any other document that proves that the letter of demand was handed to the person
Yes.
and the person's personal and contact details.
Yeah.
If I demand on WhatsApp and I say, and you think you say,
No, a letter of demand then needs to tick certain boxes. A letter of demand, you say from me to you, I am telling you.
But
that this
then what
day
if that
at this
person
week-
doesn't have a lawyer?
No, it doesn't matter.
lawyers.
20,000 so
You don't need
No, I'm
lawyers.
saying the letter of
No,
demand.
it doesn't
You
matter.
write it in your personal capacity.
Guys, you can
It doesn't
write
need
a letter of
lawyer.
demand is the first step to legal action.
So you can
So
write
you
your own
can't
letter
write,
of
you can't
demand.
take someone to court without a letter of demand first.
I'm saying you can write your own.
Well, I think
not
according to
sure.
me,
That's what I'm saying,
correct.
Guti. If I don't have a lawyer-
I've written. I hope. It's
Yes, listen, because you're a lawyer.
I'm not a
In your mind.
Okay, but here's my suggestion, right? I think for this topic specifically,
There's a template
we
on
need
Google.
to get
There's
a
many
legal
templates.
specialist, especially in the media industry.
Yes, I think it's very, very interesting because in the film industry, the law's got a lot of gray areas and a lot of loopholes that people take advantage of, right?
Yeah.
Take advantage from either knowledge or experience. If someone take advantage of you, you can take advantage of this little loophole that no one knows about. But there's never like entertainment lawyers that sit down and say, "Hi guys, we're here for you," right? I remember at some point, I'm not sure if Malaji is still in an entertainment law, but
Yeah.
there needs to be those people in entertainment law that still.
What was that reaction? Guys.
I don't know.
Okay, but tell us about another entertainment lawyer.
I
Maybe
don't
not
think
that
that's the
one.
right person.
No, maybe another one.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, in terms of the you know how we just had a conversation now about how the labor law says certain things, South African Republic law says a certain thing, and how things become simulated contracts because actually you don't abide to other and they supersede your little agreement that you've got with somebody because what you've just done is unconstitutional according to the law. In aviation, we've got aviation law where we all have to read and study the law. So that thing here, how many hours and said we've got a certain amount of hours that you're allowed flight time, hours of being what do you call this, on standby time, you know. All of these things build up to an hour per day, to how many hours in a week, to how many hours in a month, to how many hours in a year that you're allowed maximum to fly. Like the amount of hours you're allowed to fly maximum doesn't mean I've had a great 3 months and I flew this many, but were they in those certain regulations? So that industry in itself is very, very stringent on the law, and we have to study the law as well. So you seldom need an aviation lawyer. Because technically I've written the exam on that law, so I know that my employer, you're absolutely against the law. I'll report you to the CAA myself. But are those bodies then existing in the media industry where I know that this employer is doing this production company, is actually against this? But do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
Highly
but
underregulated.
does the law recognize?
Highly
But does the law
underregulated.
actually recognize you guys as real workers? Because I think that's where the issue might be.
the law does recognize us as workers, but I don't think the people who run that law recognize us as
Yes.
workers, because we've had an incident during COVID, and I hate mentioning this, but the labor minister said, Uguti, we shouldn't even get UIF. Why are we fighting for UIF or whatever, or I'm at 350, because we're not even real workers.
Because I understand that Oguti labor law does not
Full on
actually
Yes,
cover
but-
us.
Yes.
Because we are not laborers.
Hi, guys. This is a very important point, and I think it needs clarity. We've got to be extremely careful how we use terminology like worker, freelancer, and employee, because there are very important distinctions that come in here. Yes, we are considered to be workers, but workers are not necessarily protected under labor laws. What kind of worker is protected under labor laws? Well, the worker who signs an employee contract. The worker who is considered to be an employee is protected under labor laws. The basic conditions of employment, the Labor Relations Act, they are allowed to unionize, they are allowed to engage in collective bargaining, they can set rates and contract standards, they can benchmark what they earn and how they work. Those are the benefits of being an employee. You also have workers who are considered to be freelancers, but freelancers are not employees. Let me repeat that. Freelancers are not employees. That means freelancers are not protected under the basic conditions of employment, the Labor Relations Act, National Minimum Wage, and all other kinds of labor laws. Importantly, it means that freelancers cannot unionize because they are not given that right under the Labor Relations Act. They are specifically excluded. That means they cannot set rates. They cannot determine their contractual rights. They cannot benchmark their rates based on how many years of experience they have and their level of expertise. It means that they cannot engage in collective bargaining. These are the benefits that belong to employees and not to freelancers. So I hope that clarifies the point for you.
You see, that's the problem.
So-
the fact that the policy makers don't consider you guys to be laborers is the problem. Because they are setting
And yet-
precedents to say, production companies.
And yet they are happy
you
to
can-
call a press
You can do
conference.
whatever you can do because, the lawmakers or the policy makers are saying, no, these people are not laborers. They don't deserve UIF. This and this and that. And people take advantage of that because they're like, no, but the minister said that.
A lawyer in Media Change Agents said, Slobo, it's difficult to deal with you guys because you guys don't even have HR.
Yes.
Bare minimum. Anina ne HR.
But I guess
HR boss.
Yeah, you exactly. The HR is also the finance manager, is also there. So, mom tini le kuma finances. Aya kum report go HR mama. Melium report go HR uzo show itself.
So shouldn't then, I think the question should be, maybe isn't HR maybe supposed to be part of the broadcaster so that the employees of the production company can go to the commissioning editor and say, this is the issue that we're currently experiencing. What can you do to assist us?
I've got a different view.
Please
and I'm going to
answer
say
that.
this
Yes.
is my parting thought.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I do have to go.
Okay.
Guys, I really do have to attend this event and someone's waiting for me downstairs.
Ooh,
So I'm going to say this is my
Diana
parting thought.
Grande.
I feel like the reality of the situation is in this industry in film and television, right? For you to be able to get funding or something or want to start a proper production where you're dealing with like proper budgets, like in the millions of like actual budgets. The reality is even if you're building up to that, the reality is there's certain ways and avenues how to do that smartly in accounting and in business, which is to set up an SPV, which is a special purpose vehicle, I presume it is, where you create this production as your own company, right? That company then should be run as a company. It should have its own sales,
So,
marketing,
for context,
PR,
for each
HR.
show. So you could be
Yes, for
a
every
company.
single- you can be a company
You can be
and
media
every
change
show-
agents.
Yes.
But for each show, so if we're having a podcast,
Yes.
this podcast
Has
has
to
to
be
have
its
its own
own
SPV.
SPV.
And then if we decide to do 48 hours and we have whatever,
Whatever the
then
movie
that
name
show
is, the feature film, the
has
documentary,
its own bank
it's
account,
yes.
company, all of that stuff.
And the nice thing about that is that it also lends itself to transparency, because remember what we said, like as commissioning editors or as funding bodies as well, the transparency of you speaking, I'm not requesting funding from a robot, right?
Yeah.
I'm still speaking to a human. So if I have an SPV, it means I'm able to be as transparent as possible to say, this is how much money this project has taken. I've got a production accountant that can show my lamp producer said this cost us this much, this cost us this much.
the funding that I got from an advertiser was this much. She eats in my bank account on this day. So it allows you to be completely transparent about this, but not the inner workings of your actual production company, because you can share those books, share those financials, and that way be able to be a proper HR, proper accounting firm, proper accounting department, proper marketing, sales, whatever, because you're running every little production that you have as a proper company which is run well.
And has
Not
own
necessarily.
ESPP is subject to audits too. So.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, with commissions, what they would do is your production company must open a separate bank account instead of a SPV.
Yes, 100%. But the bank account falls under the name of the SPV, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying for a commission, you don't have to form an SPV.
Yes,
it can be this your company, but with a separate bank account.
Okay.
But all the monies for that production from the broadcaster will go into that account. But that's the account they'll audit, so that they don't go into the.
So you don't go into the production company's
so this is
audit.
the thing.
That's
It's the same thing.
It's exact same
So
thing.
what I'm saying is, you don't need HR in all of these. There must be an HR.
No, I'm just saying to run the company. Yes.
In all of that for the company to manage HR issues in all of them.
100%.
Yes.
I'm saying those line items of how to run a company properly is that the same equivalent of an HR, the same person that you'd use as HR in a company to run that fee structure, the same accounting manager that you'd have to be the CFO of the company should still make sense as related to corporate. And only in that way then are we starting to sort of tie away some of the loopholes that are in the industry for people to take advantage.
So the issue with that is they don't want
I'm sorry,
to
guys. I'm gonna run away.
Yes.
That's
You are
fine.
not sorry.
Thank you for joining us, Lisa.
The issue with what Lisa is mentioning is that production companies don't want to follow labor laws.
They don't.
Right?
So somebody said it's also fraud, and they don't care.
Because
they actually don't care.
There's
that
no
it's
way
fraud.
my employer cannot have an HR person. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because who hired me? Who am I reporting issues with? Who's dealing with the human resource specifically? Because you can't have the CEO, CFO being everything. Because now when
Play and referee.
Yes, because now when you share grievances, I'm gonna say I have a problem with Mpo.
There's no systems basically in our industry, and we're being killed by that because you're dealing with non-payments, you're dealing with sexual harassment, you're dealing with all these things, and you have no defense.
Yes.
The people you need defense against are the people you need to release that payment to you, and they release it according to feeling.
Yo, it's like even if you ask too loud, I'll show you. I'll make you wait an extra 2 days.
And you see, that's the role of HR, to make sure that if there's sexual assault, you report it to them and then they investigate and then come up with a solution. If there's payments issues, you report to them. Whatever issues that you experience, you go to them and then they sort it out. But now, if I'm HR and also the person that's not paying you, trust and believe, it's not going to get sorted out.
It's not working.
Guys, don't forget to follow us on our
Sikhona kuma socials.
I see the other handles.
None of us see emo.
What are the handles?
Sikhona kuma socials. Okay? Thank
Last
you
but not
for
least,
now.
like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and
Like
I'm an
and
influencer
subscribe.
aware for so labo like and subscribe, labo notifications bell, labo just because we're TV people and we don't know them doesn't mean you mustn't do them.
Yes.
Do them. Okay. So Ipileng. She's standing by with our shots because we've got a segment called Parting Shots where we take a shot to a parting thought, so yeah. But before that, she's standing eagerly. Yeah. We have to shots.
She wants to get us tips.
Hey, Miguel.
Doc system.
Allow Elton to do his thing. Elton always has social media, his ear on the ground where social media is concerned. So we've asked him, Uzi, please get us what the public actually thinks of our situation, because I don't think our situation is normal. This whole thing of Uzi, we don't get paid on time. We might not get paid. Channel is blamed. Sometimes they don't even know that they are the villain in the story. I don't think it's normal. But yeah.
Okay, so I think, like Ayanda's mentioned, there's a lot of things happening regarding the media industry, but also people on social media are also talking about it. One example, herself, where she tweeted about not getting paid for work that she has done and everything like that. And we've also seen like different people coming up to say, you know what, as talent or even as crew members, we don't get paid for these. Perfect example, recently, we had the Real Housewives of Johannesburg saying we had not been paid. Sonia said, well, I got 12 million. I'm still waiting for the remainder. Goes back to the conversation that Paul was talking about, that it's about milestones, and then the rest of the money is going to come in. But then again, it goes back to the whole point of, is this communicated properly with talent? Is the communication between the challenge and talent, and crew and everyone else, basically, is everyone in the loop about what is currently happening? So another thing that we also saw on social media, I think,
Sorry, before you move,
yeah.
On the conversation about whether people are in the loop, I don't think we finished it that time when we were speaking. Some people use keeping you in the loop as a delay tactic. So they will inform you, Uti, we're so sorry, we feel shattered by the situation, you will get paid. We're having sleepless nights about your salary that we are not giving you. It hurts us to the core that you are not paid. And so, people tick the boxes.
This genuine communication. And I mean, that is so emotional and blackmail. Oh, actually, like we understand. I mean, it's a script. What is this?
We understand.
An epic,
We empathize.
We empathize. It's like, listen, this and this has happened. For this reason, we cannot pay you on this date. However, channels have payment dates. There'll be an arrangement. Can we be factual, concise, not emotional? And emotional, that's when you see right.
These ones. And the way it was so bad, there were people in the production who actually called channel to find out, is this for real, right? And then there were suppliers. Our suppliers were asking for the commissioning editor's numbers directly. To ask this commissioning editor, hey, Chomi, this company still hasn't paid me. What do you mean? Suppliers now are jumping.
When do commissioning editors step in such a situation?
Actually, I just thought of something as we all know that the public broadcaster is going through things. And their story of non-payment is actually a real thing. I mean, they couldn't pay their own staff, let alone production houses. So there are elements of truth to channel hasn't paid me. But channel hasn't paid me will never have a vague, there'll be something kind of solid to explain. Yeah. Or even if they go, we don't know, they'll be telling you the steps that they're doing, something very clear and professional.
And also when we look at this whole conversation, about the payments to cast and crew, that's where the Performers Protection Bill actually comes in. Where I think Florence Masebe and other people
within
the industry, they've been pushing it for a while, and apparently the president had sent it back, so it's still not finalized. So they still have to go back to Parliament again and try to fight to get this bill passed. And if it does get passed, then it's a win for everyone. Because now you're going to have people and production companies actually following the labor laws to ensure that you guys are protected.
That protection bill is it's so annoying that it's still not signed off, because there are actually new laws within GBV that were signed in between the time when Abu Jack Devnarain and other people were pushing this thing. So new laws that came through were gazetted or whatever, between the time that, even COVID laws were put in during the time, and still the performance protection bill was still not put through. And it kind of feels like this is just being pushed back, because there's been ample time. There were things during things during COVID and things right after COVID that came into law like really quickly, or became and we were still awaiting this performance protection bill. It's like, what do you actually mean we have to wait again? Because you are able to sign, you are seeing other laws, you're signing other laws. Why not this one?
I'm going to be Lisang here. When he leaves, I step in.
Yes.
Devil's advocate. Nah. So with the protection bill, I understand all those delays, and I've had the good fortune, I think it was DFM, I don't remember which one, where the producers were talking about some of the flaws within it. So some of the reasons that it's being delayed is because it's partially, not inherently. I don't want to say
partially
inherently.
flawed.
But there are certain things that are flawed because I think what happened was it was led by the performance. Please, this is not facts. It's my thinking.
Yes.
It was led by the performers. They were passionate about it. And the other side was slower to respond because they were not kind of gunning for it. So it was written from a certain side that these people engaged too late. So now it needs to be kind of reworked to make sense properly for everyone. And it's like when someone says, if I send you my memorandum of demands and then you don't answer, then my demands are what's going to go ahead. But then when we get to a certain point, it's like, hang on, this wasn't considered. Hang on, this didn't come into play. So I would like to give it the benefit of the doubt. It's messed up that it's taking this long. And it's actually a sign of how seriously certain industries or sectors are taken.
Yeah.
But I believe that it deserves the respect that any other process deserves. And fine, let's give it full engagement. But don't hold it up and then not do anything.
Yes.
Why?
I mean, they
don't hold it up.
Okay, not on the point of don't hold it up and not do anything there, but there are performers. And I think sometimes when talent has production companies, they apply the stuff that they had grievances with and change them within. I like it when that happens.
Yeah.
Unlike the people that I'm dealing with, they were therapists and talent or whatever. And when they got a production, like it just went that way. But yeah, Okagiso, who was Mangi on Isidingo.
Yes.
When he did his first movie, he made sure that crew got royalties, the cast got royalties.
And what's the movie? Is it Finding Lerato?
Finding Lerato.
Yes.
So when he did Finding Lerato, he made sure, so he applied this in essence to set precedents. And I think it works in a way to say, Uti, there was a case that was able to apply this law.
And
so
do it.
therefore, we can use it because it has worked in one aspect. Yes.
You've actually given me the example I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem was that, so you'll say production companies give us royalties as well. But with things like commissions, the broadcasters own everything. So when the broadcasters sell it, even the producer doesn't get the money. So it's not just the producer. The broadcasters need to kind of amend their commissioning rules as well.
Oh my God, yes.
Within the commission, literally, you've signed over your IP. It's over. So even the production house is not going to get that. But I think there are some... The production house doesn't own anything. Like, actually, if they want to do season 2, they don't even need to use the same supplier. They've got the whatever Bible, and they'll move
so the
on.
broadcaster can decide not to take
Yeah,
it.
you're just a service provider.
So Tokozamuntu can be produced by a different company for season 2.
Entirely. Because they own everything. So, if the company is owning, if the broadcaster owns everything, how is the producer going to pay your royalties if they're not coming? So it goes back to all those other parties. I think that's part of the problem.
So my other...
When a broadcaster, what do your commissioning rules say?
Yeah.
So then would it be a broadcaster's, so broadcasters, would they be the ones who need to lead this then?
Probably.
On behalf of production companies?
And I think that not necessarily lead, but have multiple viable content acquisition models. So not just pure commission. Like, fine, meet me halfway, commission some of my work, but can we share IP on others?
Yeah.
Or
They
like,
do
fine, and
licensing
and pre-sales.
And pre-sales. What would other models look like then?
Share ownership, because the other thing is, they're already not going to share the advertising revenue they're going to generate from that stuff. Do you understand?
You don't get that.
So, and then when they go and resell Generations to Jamaica, so they're not going to share that money either.
Isiba is playing in French somewhere.
Was it not playing in Nigeria? Did I not love the Nigerian
I think
version?
the river is also, I think, Kenya.
So in those regions. So
and usually a producer gets like a small finder's fee if they do the sale. So that they're not even motivated to do sales. So it becomes a big IP thing.
So
it's ridiculous versus it's not.
Isn't there a way that we can negotiate and say, okay, how about a 60-40 split in a way?
So far, it hasn't been done.
It hasn't been
done.
I don't know.
It's doable, actually. Not it hasn't been done. It can be done. And I think MultiChoice has done it with certain productions.
And Phindi Bunza Dog, generations, we knew about the fact that, or let me not say the fact that, because I'm not quite sure of the details of this, but what we knew is that Baba Mfundi Vunda, he negotiated his stuff. Like a lot of advertising, he had a hand in that. So profits went to him. Like it was reported at a time when the actors were going on strike for it. Uguti, actually, the money is coming to Ubaba because
So he had the money
I plead
and he didn't
ignorance.
want to pay people allegedly.
I plead ignorance. I will only talk about.
No, I don't know.
I don't
I'm
think
just saying
everybody has the
500,000.
clout or leverage of Mfundi Vunda to negotiate
I was
on
gonna
that
say,
basis.
Uguti, I don't. So I'm mentioning him because it's like throughout the years, that's the only story I've heard of
Where
a
someone-
production
yeah.
owner having that much control and clout to be able to negotiate their own advertising terms and have a say in how much they get in the different regions that they broadcast. Because with generations being there for so long, they were probably like the first to be in Nigeria, in other areas, you know.
Yes.
So,
But just a question: Are these other production houses trying to even negotiate? Because I feel like in most cases, people are so starstruck that, oh my God, my show is going to be on
Yes.
this channel. So you even
Very
forget the
starstruck.
business side
Yes.
of entertainment.
very starstruck.
And I think
that's what
this is
happens-
where the problem actually lies.
Yes.
It's in gratitude approach.
Yes.
They're
That's
very
what you
much,
get.
oh my God, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be commissioned, that they are afraid to. That's why earlier when you were saying, Guti, the production needs to, it was the song, when you were saying, Guti, the production needs to negotiate on behalf of crew and say, Guti, no, what do you mean my people are going to be paid in January? They need money in December. Production companies don't really do that because they're so grateful to have been given a commission to start with.
Yes.
And they are so fearful of, like, stepping on the wrong toes where channel or commissioning editors are concerned, that they don't put their foot, down
Yes.
in any of these areas. But when you are a production company that actually doesn't even have a leg to stand on, you can't put your foot down.
And
Yeah.
sometimes
You've been doing so many wrong things. What do you mean put your foot down?
Yeah, you don't know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
And this, as much as you are a production company, you are still an actual business.
Yes.
And I think that's the problem. People don't understand the business of entertainment, right? Because I'm going there with gratitude. I think, for example, Paul, if she's a commissioning editor, she's doing me a favor. No, she's not doing me a favor.
She's doing her job.
Yes, she's doing her job. She saw something in the project and she knows it's going to bring her money. So now I need to go in there and understand that Mpo and I are about to get into business, right? And also the approach is important, where I'm going to be negotiating and saying, I'm not really sure about you taking 100% ownership of everything. Can I at least get 10? Or 20?
Yeah, well, the power that they have and our opportunity to work and options of having your work generate revenue and what have you, or our understanding of it, that's a whole topic, have limited us. It's not necessarily even gratitude. It's like, if I fight this, the fight will take me 9 months, but I need work now. I need the work. So our economics and our economy and the kind of the nature of where we live and work does not, we don't have the luxury of
negotiate.
Yeah. And I think you need to be bigger and have more sway and more.
So basically build a foundation, and then once you have that reputation, then you start to negotiate.
I'm just saying it's nuanced. It's multi-layered. It's
you could be lucky
multi-layered.
and you get it right the first time. Maybe the person that you're negotiating with actually sees something and be like, not a bad idea.
And I mean, as a commissioning editor, I'm just an employee. I find the rules written.
Yeah.
The best I can do is, if they're being rewritten every 3 years, I can contribute based on my experience or what we need.
Guys, I have the weirdest story about just as an employee. There's nothing I can do. So I don't know if you know Mikasa's first album.
Yeah.
And there's a song called All the Glory.
Yes.
So I sang the vocals of All the Glory. All the glory, all the glory.
Hey, when I'm a superstar. What are you, triple threat?
So I sang on there. And it's because I was coming from school. I was studying music at the time, in tertiary. And then I passed by my sister's offices and she was working for Soul Candy. And then I was in her office and Jay something came in and he was like, I need a female voice. And my sister was like, my sister can sing. And he was like, sing. And I was like, you make my soul a burning fire. He was like, woo, come in. So I went, right? And then, so I was singing the highs, all the glory, right? But then there were deeps that I couldn't get to because I'm a child at that time. And then they brought in like 2 guys, right? So there were 3 of us in studio and then they were bringing the deeper voices. But I sang most of the highs, middles, lows, all of that stuff. And then when the song came out, I didn't get credit. And Jay something said he had a 12-piece choir in studio. In fact, in the music video, he put a choir in there. So Minagu DM ngamthumela a picture of me in studio with the 2 guys, and I was like, point to your choir. Where is your 12-piece choir? Right. So then he apologized to me, and there were newspaper articles about Yaya on fire, saying all the glory in the newspaper articles. And then I was like to my sister, dog, you are my sister. Why didn't you fight for this? And she's like, I'm an employee in this company. They have systems in place, and I tried to speak for you, but I can't change a law and a policy. Yeah, it's above your pay grade. So it was above her pay grade for her to fight for that part, for me to get Egbeni. They have a whole way of working where needle time or young artists or royalties don't really get paid. So, and it's my favorite album, guys. So I listen to it so begrudgingly. I'm like, wait, Sunday morning.
now that we know that Ayanda can sing, right? When we finish this episode, she's going to close off by singing.
She must sing
My
the
parting shot. No, I was gonna say, Guti, what's Mpo's conclusion to this situation? So not conclusion. What are the solutions? Because you would know, right?
Yes.
When I say Mpo would know, Mpo is a veteran in the industry. So we
We're old enough to be a veteran. Lord rest her soul.
If we put your CV out here,
20 years.
if we put your CV on the table,
big CV yako la
Has it been 20
etafuleni.
years?
each of us have got maybe 3 years on the paper. So Umpo, in all our episodes, she's just gonna be giving us nuggets to take home. Whether
Because
it's
nuggets
links,
they are.
whether it's information, whether it's whatever. And as a person who has gone through some of the problems that we are noting from the content side as an employee and from the side of channel, I think maybe she would have a lot to say. So maybe Stella, I'm a solution, because what are we changing?
You see this thing of wearing multiple hats. I'm literally juggling all of them in my head. I'm like, which side do I want to speak to the most? And I think, okay, obviously it's that of the creative. So I want to speak in a way that benefits the creatives. What do we have to change?
Something that I had thought of, because I sign with companies as a supplier and therefore a PTY Ltd, I can actually ask for a PO, but can individuals ask for POs, right? But if we were operating on POs and we were in an industry of people that don't really pay that PO, we could take a loan against that PO. And then the guys of a PO, the collectors, then follow up. It doesn't affect me, Uguti, client has delayed or channel has delayed. So I, as the person who is your content supplier, because I've got this PO, then I just go to a company that deals with collections, our PO, and I say, that company owes me. So, and it's not even a difficult thing. I do social media for like a social media manager for a record company. I won't mention names. So I do so as a side hustle. I do that stuff. And then just for even a small amount, I've got a PO with them. So they are consistent with payment. But if they had, so I always have a PO number. If they had a problem with payment or whatever, I wouldn't stress. I would just go and take it to those companies that deal with POs. They would then debt collect. I would still have my money on time. But now we see it with more government contracts because those say, okay, if you are government is delaying on your payment and whatnot. But I think it needs to be a standard in our industry. Kuda was saying, engineering and all of those.
That's
do that.
the word. And I was about to say, I feel like any idea I would say would be like asking for a unicorn because it sounds like very fantastical. We don't have a lot of standards or regulations. And in the absence of that, I think we are one of the, I don't know, say only few industries that don't even have a union. And I mean,
that's not really allowed to have a union because we had tried to apply for
all
a union, and there are so many regulations against.
Yes, so let the union not be our example, but some sort of regulatory body that kind of looks at all of these things. And I'm thinking maybe, the beginnings of things like that will come from something like the Creatives Industry Master Plan, which was only drafted and approved in 2023. It's basically business ethics.
Yes.
Are you conducting business ethically? And if you're not, the checks and balances are clearly not sufficient to mark your ethics because of the under-regulation.
So the master plan is the solution because I feel like
the beginnings, the foundation.
It's the beginnings. For me, I haven't even heard of the master plan. I don't even know what the points are in there and what they entail or whatever. It's fine.
We are learning.
Sizo update in future episodes. We're also going to bring a lawyer for like copyright and all of that stuff. So maybe they will give context on the IP conversation.
Yes.
So thank you. And we're going to do our parting shots. So the parting shot is that parting thought I spoke about. Ipileng was very eager. Spirit.
And then
I won't say what spirit it was. It's a shot. Kunina mile nye spirit ufuna Uipileng ngene kel. Siyabonga. Ngobupinki. I say ngani short
Small
Ipileng.
business, but it's now arts and culture.
No, this is
like the pee of a mosquito.
Exactly, Ipileng.
What is this?
Be serious about us.
Guys, we still have another.
No, don't cut it. Ipileng is shortchanging us. Ipileng is shortchanging us.
Ipileng, I'm fine.
I'm not fine.
Whilst Ipileng is going to actually prepare our parting shot.
Once Ipileng is serious about us.
What are you guys watching?
What's in your arts?
What is in your arts basket?
Yes. I'm watching Outlanders. So, like I mentioned earlier, I gave birth in November. And my daughter's father, my baby Zaddy, my boyfie, my love, my spunkunu, better. He is Sutu. He is Sutu, and I got, I want her because I angwazi ukhuluma Sutu, like, nyazama. Kya zama di puo tse tsa lona.
I understand.
Kya bua sometimes. So I want, because I'm always going to be talking to my daughter in Zulu. Ngiyambiza mukela, ngizewela girl, kwenzakala ngawe. I feel like she needs Sutu culture because my boyfriend also, he speaks to me in Zulu. So it's going to be a Zulu household. He's always like, so, unjani, right? Sutu. Given, right? So I got a Sutu helper so that she can instill that part of the culture. So, because she lives with us, when it's someone who comes in and then she leaves, there's like, she does a job and then she leaves. But there's so many hours and I'll see she does her job and then there's nothing to do, Yes. So I put on
downtime.
Sitalele either queen from scratch, right? I'm like, wow, this is actually got a cute script. I can
look the first 100 days.
Yes, they had a good script. I'm like, I can mess with this.
Usually the
also the very first scene in episode 1.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing.
Fire.
So I'm like, what's in my art? The Queen season 1, but also she likes Sutu shows. So I found Outlanders Zulus against Sutus, people fighting with guns on horses. They're riding dirty.
That's outlaws.
It's outlaws.
Outlaws, sorry.
On showmats, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Outlaw. I keep saying
What's
Outlander.
Outlanders? Show that I don't know.
from
Dumelang
Shaka
Sishebo.
And Uputi Urata local who's from the other family. I'm like, oh, it's cute kanjani. So I'm watching Outlaws with Aussie. She loves that shit.
Hey, Yantati.
Hey, yeah. Yes. And I'm learning Sutu. So sometimes I hear, but they speak fast. What?
Yeah, they speak very fast.
Then I tell my daughter, hey. So I'm learning Suchi from Outlaws. That's what's in my art. Those directors, you're good at what you do. Thank you for the
And
art.
it's shot beautifully. Shout
It's
out.
shot beautifully.
Shout out to them.
Oh, thank you, Chomies, for that.
Wow. Oh, I guess it's me, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think locally, currently I'm watching. What do I watch mostly? I'm a reality show.
You are. He updates me about my show.
So I am a reality show person, right? But also I do watch like soapies and telenovelas. So what I watch religiously, definitely Scandal on ETV. I love it. The storyline is always moving, you know. They don't drag things. So if you miss 2 weeks, they've already moved on from that storyline. And then I was watching The Real Housewives of Lagos. I'm still waiting for the reunion. And then what else do I watch? Well, music-wise, everybody knows I am a Makadzi fan all the way.
Love
So if you check my 2023 Apple Music Wrapped, I think I probably listened to Makadzi for more than, I don't know, 100,
Too many hours.
yeah, more than 50 hours. That's how much I listen to her. So yeah, that's definitely what's in my art.
Oh shit, I forgot Babes Otungo.
Hi, Bo.
What's your favorite dish? Tupperware.
Okay. What's in my art? You know, I like to appear hardcore. So I'm not saying what I'm watching right now, what I've recently watched.
Yes.
I love to appear hardcore, deep, meaningful, profound. But my secret indulgence, my guilty pleasure is Christmas movies.
What?
Yes, for all the reasons
as well.
For all the reasons everybody hates them. They are predictable. Yes, bitches. That's what I want. I want to know how it ends.
Before it even gets there.
Yes. They're low emotional investment. They're low intellectual investment. You just watch it. Sometimes I watch them to critique. Oh, how stupid. You could have made that connection better. I want to see the guy chase the boy to the airport. I want them to make a stupid misunderstanding and then bangale and then get back together. It's comfort viewing, guys. It's like Samp and beef stew for me. So, but Your Christmas is a remake of a Norwegian series. So at first it was jarring. I'm like, I've seen this before. And then I'm like, oh, remake. What a sister. But okay, I enjoyed. So once it said remake, I also do this thing. They say the viewer must suspend disbelief.
Yeah.
I can switch off a thing in my mind and just go with the flow. I'm like, yeah, it's silly, but I'll go with it and just literally be in that moment. I do lower my intellectual engagement capacity to be there, but I didn't need to lower it that much because they had cute little lines in that thing.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Eventually,
Oh, so basically,
I have
yet
when
to
you
watch
those
it.
movies, you watch them like how
I have yet
we
to watch
approach
it.
Mjolo, a
Yeah.
bit dumb, yana.
Stuff is.
So what's your parting thoughts, Chomi? What's your parting shots?
Parting shots. Ish. Give unto Caesar what is due unto Caesar.
My dog.
Pay your employees.
Niaiva
Amen.
Kengo.
It's biblical. If you do not believe in the Bible, then believe in the law.
Amen.
If I rendered a service, pay.
Amen.
Pay and just respect people, please.
Yeah. It has to do with respect, eh?
It is a respect thing.
Yes. And so I think for me is, guys, we must know the law, right? Now I sound like Caesar. Don't go and study an LLB. But I'm just saying, have an idea, of like what Ayanda was saying, a simulated contract. Like what is going to hold in the court of law? And don't be afraid to ask questions when you join an organization or production house, so that in the end,
you are able to have some sort of proof to say, no, but this is what we agreed on, this is what we signed, and this is, what can be used in the court of law. So don't just be excited that, oh, I got a job, I'm going to be working in this big production. Next thing, you're getting scammed, you don't get paid. But yeah, always be careful, man, and just have fun and enjoy yourself.
You didn't cheers to you drinking.
I didn't drink.
Cheers and drink.
Oh, cheers.
No, I'm thinking, let's wait
for
everybody.
And then we cheers at the end.
Okay, cool. So my parting shot is for production companies, right? They are getting, especially those who are getting their first commissions. You have reached a place in your life where your dreams are coming to life. Your vision is going to be seen on screen. That's a thing to celebrate, especially because often they are Black. So when we come in, we're like, yo, we support your vision. We love seeing Black companies getting inside, and getting their vision out there and telling Black stories. So it's beautiful. We come there with the support. Please don't take advantage of our belief in you. But also, it's not just a vision that's coming to life in that moment. It's not just a TV show happening. You are committing to become a business. Realize that you need to operate as a business. If you do not know before what businesses need to have or what it entails, research it. Yeah. So I'm saying, as a closing thing, we support everybody having a production, and it's not just production houses that have had multiple shows that need to be out there. We support new production houses. In fact, we encourage others. We even teach some of the people in Media Change Agents how to pitch in order to be commissioned. We support it. We will help shoot pilots. We will do all of that stuff so that you can get in, right? But once you're in, don't now become the thing we are fighting against, dog. Don't be our enemy when you get there. We support you, but don't take advantage of the support. We want you to be out there, but once you're out there, don't be the beast that we are trying to slay.
Yes.
Be the change,
Something's gotta change.
And that something's you.
It
starts with you.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Ayanda's gotta sing for us.
Forgive me if I'm being a little ghetto, 'cause do you she's the baby. That's a song I actually wrote. It's on DJ Clock's album.
Lena, chava mula, shuta.